Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. Finally, an answer from Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers on what he plans to do in 2023. He told the Pat McAfee Show he intends to play for the Jets and made that decision on Friday. Also said he's not holding up a trade. It's now up to the teams to decide on compensation. Green Bay does have the leverage over the QB-desperate Jets in that area, believes ESPN's Dan Graziano.
They have the ability to make the Jets and Aaron Rodgers wait. You can wait till the draft. Maybe the Jets decide to get impatient and give you what you want. Honestly, it is significantly more beneficial to the Packers to wait until June 2nd to trade him.
Sure.
Because of the $25 million difference in dead money.
The Cowboys and running back Ezekiel Elliott parting ways. He'll be a free agent. The NBA suspended Grizzlies star Ja Morant 8 games without pay for conduct detrimental to the league, according to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. Suspension covers the games he's already missed, is eligible to rejoin the Grizzlies Monday. His return to games will take place soon thereafter. Morant met today with Commissioner Adam Silver over his handling of a firearm at a nightclub earlier this month.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. They're close, convenient, and have the parts you need fast, along with excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
So. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day.
It's hump day.
Let's hump, everybody.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Jameis Winston explains his decision to return to the Saints.
Hump day.
Ain't none of y'all mad at him no more.
It's hump day.
Enough with the crab leg jokes.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Enough with the eating the W.
Hump day.
Ain't none of y'all never gonna do it again.
It's hump day.
Hashtag fact.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Saints add 2 defensive tackles.
Hump day.
LSU blows out UNO.
It's hump day.
Have mercy.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
But there was no mercy rule.
Hump day.
The Lakers did something they've never done in their franchise's history.
It's hump day.
Of course they did it against the Pelicans.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Momma Scone! All right.
It's hump day.
All right, let's get going. Y'all fired up? Momma Scone returns today, the woman who makes me infinitely more likable because people hear such a sweet lady and think, well, she raised him. He can't be that bad. Ha! Got you all fooled. Momma Scone, 5 o'clock. We've been doing this for years now. The Momma Scone Bracket Challenge. I go head-to-head with my mom to prove you need know nothing about basketball or anything sports-related to fill out a bracket and have some success. So, Momma Scone did, in fact, beat me one year, the year that Loyola of Chicago went to the Final Four. She had Loyola going to the Final Four that year because my dad went to Loyola of New Orleans, and she had no idea there was any difference. So that's essentially why. So, anyway, Momma Scone, 5 o'clock. Looking forward to that. So, let's start with what the Saints have added here at the start of free agency. The big storyline, of course, were all of the defensive defections. David Onyemata to Atlanta, Shai Tuttle to Carolina, Marcus Davenport to Minnesota, Caden Ellis to Atlanta. Who's left? Well, we knew the Saints were going to have to make moves, and there were going to be additions on the interior of the defensive line. And we got those answers, or at least started to get those answers, pretty early on Wednesday here in advance of the start of the league year. So, hat tip Tom Pelissero, I believe he had it first. The first addition the Saints made, defensive tackle Khalen Saunders, signing with the New Orleans Saints. Coming off his best season with the Super Bowl champion Chiefs, he had 3.5 sacks, had a very productive year. Khalen Saunders, he joins the New Orleans Saints, so one of those defensive tackle additions. And then Pelissero came back after that report, following it up with news that defensive tackle Nathan Shepard also joining the New Orleans Saints. Shepard, a 3-year, $15 million deal, $10.18 million of it guaranteed. So that makes not one, but 2 defensive tackles for the Saints right here at the start of free agency. We knew that was no longer a need. It certainly wasn't a want. It wasn't even a must. It was a absolute, you got to do this, and there ain't no ifs, ands, or buts, because you had one defensive tackle under contract. Prince Emili, isn't that what we said yesterday? Prince Emili was the only defensive tackle that the Saints had under contract. So now you've added 2 veteran players here via free agency, and you're still going to need more via the draft. So the Saints are certainly not done at defensive tackle. Let's look at these 2 players because, honestly, y'all, I think the Saints made out like bandits here. And I'll explain what I mean in a second. I want to lay out who Nathan Shepard and Khalen Saunders are for those that aren't familiar, what the Saints are getting, and how it compares and contrasts to what they lost, okay? Let's start with Shepard because he was the first news that came earlier today. So Nathan Shepard is 29 years old. He was a 3rd-round draft pick back in 2018, and he has been mostly a rotational defensive lineman for the Jets over the last 5 seasons. He essentially has been for the Jets over the last 5 years what Shy Tuttle has been for the Saints during this part of his career. Now, Shy Tuttle is younger at 27 years old than Shepard, who's 29. So you do have a player that's a couple years older, but is experienced, and again has a lot of tread on the tires because he's played in 73 games, but mostly been a rotational piece. Here's the key part. For Shepard, his last 3 seasons, you've seen his production increase year to year. So go back to 2020, the COVID year, and you're looking at a season where he had 17 tackles, 2.5 sacks. He went from 17 tackles to 28 to 33. So 2021, 22, he improved his production each year. Never been a real strong pass rushing threat. He's only got 6 career sacks in 5 years. So it's negligible. That's not really what the Saints were looking for. You were looking for a rotational piece who's been available, who's been productive. And when you look at Shy Tuttle, this last year, Tuttle for the Saints had 26 solo tackles, 49 total, so had a productive year for the Saints. But you're talking about a guy in Shepard who has been a productive player each of the last 3 years and has played in a lot of football. Saunders effectively is replacing David Onyemata. Saunders, who, by the way, Tyrann Mathieu on Twitter earlier today kind of raved about Saunders. He said something to the effect of, let me see if we can find the tweet real quick. He said something to the effect of, like, I know who's going to be on my my locker room basketball team. Here you go. He said, I got my basketball teammate now, might go undefeated in the locker room this year. And he tweeted Khalen Saunders. They were teammates in Kansas City together. So you're talking about a giant dude in Khalen Saunders who kind of famously, or however you want to say it, can do a backflip, right? So he's a big old dude, a big, interior defensive lineman who's also massively athletic. Khalen Saunders is listed at 6 foot, 324. Y'all, I'm 6 feet. Basically put 100 pounds on me and watch me do a backflip. That's Khalen Saunders, okay? Massive dude, interior. Big, strong dude on the interior. Saunders was a 3rd-round pick back in 2019. He's played all of his NFL career in Kansas City. Last year, career high 3.5 sacks, played in a career high 39% of the Chiefs' defensive snaps, so became a more consistent contributor on the interior of that defense. He's 26 years old. He is, in effect, replacing the production that you got with David Onyemata. 26 years old, he's played in 38 career games. This past year, played in 16, which was a career high for him. Most games played in his 4-year career. He had 48 tackles, 3.5 sacks. Put that side by side with David Onyemata. Saunders had 48 tackles. Onyemata had 43. What and what? Saunders had 3.5 sacks. Onyemata had 5. From an interior player, what and what? You're basically talking about dudes that are equal in productivity. Saunders is 4 years younger than David Onyemata. Production's equal, younger player, and cheaper. This is why I think the Saints made out like bandits with these two signings. You would have had to have overpaid to keep Tuttle and Onyemata. Tuttle got a 3-year, $19.5 million contract from Carolina. Shepard, 3 years, $15 million. So you save $14.5 million for a player, essentially a more experienced player who's been kind of equal in production. Saunders, you get a younger player than Onyemata, who, as we talked about, felt, while he had a nice bounce back year this year after missing, a handful of games last year because of the PED suspension, it was evident the Saints on the interior were not as good this past year. They were 24th in the NFL in rush defense. We've talked about that plenty. But you get younger, you get equal production. Onyemata signed a 3-year, $35 million contract with Atlanta. You get Saunders 3 years, $14.5 million. I mean, that's $20.5 million less than what you would have had to pay Onyemata. My point is, the Saints went thrift shopping. They went Macklemore on it and ended up actually coming away with what and what production-wise. You got a little younger at one of your spots, and you were able to do it in a way that was really financially responsible. You could have overpaid for David Onyemata. You could have overpaid for Shai Tuttle. You'd have loved to have those guys back, no doubt. But when you look at it, the Saints were able to go shake the trees and find dudes that are very similar in productivity, guys that have been available, that have stayed healthy, and you got them at a bargain relative to what you would have had to pay to keep your guys. So you'd always love to be able to keep the guys you draft. I mean, you would love to be able to just have guys become, you spend their entire career. But the old adage, we say it all the time, you can't pay everybody. You hope you make the right decisions with who to pay. And sometimes the Saints have done that. Sometimes they haven't. I mean, the most glaring example that we're going to bring up is a guy like Trey Hendrickson. They made a wrong decision. They sort of banked more on Marcus Davenport being a dude. It didn't work out. You let Trey Hendrickson walk, and that was a mistake. But Saints will spend. You just got to be wise with how you spend. And this looks like an instance where they probably made a good decision here. They signed Nathan Shepard, Khalen Saunders, but they can't be done, right? I mean, you've got, coming out of camp, you're going to have 4 defensive tackles make your 53-man roster. These 2 would be really good bets to make the team, so you're not done. Do you add another player in veteran free agency? You're certainly going to draft a defensive lineman with one of your first 2 picks. I can't imagine a scenario where the Saints don't use either 29 or 40 on a defensive tackle, an interior defensive player. So they're starting that rebuild, and this is a pretty good start for them on that defensive front. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad to have you aboard with us here. Hump Day Show is brought to you by Pluckers. I was over at South Point Volkswagen earlier today. Picked up my new vehicle. I'm fired up for it. I've been driving the Volkswagen Atlas for the last 3 years. Traded in the Atlas for an Atlas Cross Sport. That eliminates the third row because, honestly, my third row was always down. I just have Drew. I was a little worried about, am I going to have enough storage space in the back? Because sometimes, we have a wagon that we push him in, or if we go on vacation, we have suitcases. So it's like, well, if you take out the third row, am I going to have enough storage space? The storage space is actually identical to the Atlas in the Cross Sport. Just knock out the third row. A lot of people need the third row. A 3-row, 7-seater family SUV, I get it, but for me, the Cross Sport was perfect. So find your favorite Volkswagen today at South Point Volkswagen. It's so easy to work with. Mr. Bill Reinhardt over at Volkswagen. I mean, we've probably bought 5, 6 Volkswagen, just me and Erica over the years. My parents, my dad just bought a Tiguan. My mom drives an Atlas. My cousin drives a Cross Sport. I mean, our whole family drives Volkswagens now, and we all get them from South Point. Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer is South Point Volkswagen. SouthPointVW.com. South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? Okay, let me knock out a break, y'all. LSU football, we have some details about next year's season opener in Vegas against USC. I'll get to that. And the baseball team blasted UNO, some takeaways. That's coming up right when we come back. Around the SEC in about 15 minutes. Taylor Calandro for Bourbon Dictionary in about 30 minutes from right now. Locked, loaded, ton to do. Glad you're here. AFR.
AFR.
Big dance gets underway in earnest tomorrow. We will be at Pluckers all day. OTB from 7 to 10. Hunt Palmer from 1 to 3. AFR from 3 to 6. I want to remind you, tomorrow for OTB, the Pluckers Kitchen won't be open yet, but we will have breakfast catered and complimentary. So listeners, feel free to join T-Bob and Hester at Pluckers tomorrow. If you want to swing on by, we got breakfast from The Heavenly Donut. There'll be kolaches and donuts and coffee. So if you want to come on in, have some complimentary breakfast, hang out with the guys for a little bit, watch some of the show, totally welcome to do that, even though there won't be games on yet. But we encourage you to come by. We'll have great prizes and swag all day long. Looking forward to a great day for the launch of March Madness. OTB in the morning, Hunt from 1 to 3, AFR from 3 to 6, all at Pluckers on Bluebonnet tomorrow. Make plans to join us for the start of the Madness. Pluckers, if you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance, with the latest in office technology, from desktop to production.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
LSU baseball pounded UNO last night, 16-0. It took them a little while to get going. The Tigers were held scoreless through the first 4 innings, and then Tommy White broke through with a kaboom, a 3-run bomb in the fifth. Gavin Dugas roped one to left field as well. Tigers went 3 in the fifth, 7 in the sixth, and they put up an 8 spot in the sixth. There was no mercy rule in the game, so they did play a full 9, which was interesting to see. But Tigers looked pretty good again. Chase Shores got the start. Only went 2 1/3 and exited in a bit of trouble, but Garrett Edwards came in, and that's probably a bit of the story here. By the way, here was Jay Johnson after the game on Garrett Edwards' ability to escape jams, which he's shown so far this year.
Big story of the early season for us. There's been a few times where maybe it's been a little wobbly. It's been early in the game, so it wasn't like, hey, we had to have it, but he's delivered every time with runners in scoring position. Like, we're getting out of it without giving up anything anytime he comes in the game. And that's a special niche. And then, get stronger from there. I don't know how many innings he threw tonight. He threw 3 2/3, but did it in 43 pitches. I mean, that's impressive.
I remember when Garrett Edwards signed with LSU, and his high school coach at Pitkin is former LSU Tiger J.C. Holt. And J.C. came on the show, and he talked a lot about Garrett at the time. And I remember talking about him. He's a long dude with this sort of whip-like action. He didn't have a ton of velocity, but as he's gone on in his career, that's changed. He's pumping 95 right now. So, dude has just grown into his body. He's gotten coached up, and his velo has gone up as you expect. As a guy goes from 18 to 19 to 20, and physically matures. But the thing that I also remember so much about Garrett Edwards when J.C. Holt was talking to us about him was the fact that he played all the sports. He's a really good basketball player as well. But it was just that the moment was never too big. The type of guy whose heart rate is just always the same. So him going into the games in jams and handling it really isn't a surprise to me, because that's how he was described. The thing about Edwards that maybe is most impressive, and before the season started, we didn't talk a ton about Garrett Edwards. So much of the conversation was about Christian Little coming in and Chase Shores and a big dude like Aiden Moffitt, a freshman who we haven't got to see much, but pumping upper 90s as well. And we talked about Bryce Collins, who had a nice role in LSU's team a year ago. And, Riley Cooper, a lot of the guys that we knew were going to play roles, and, of course, Garrett Edwards. Well, then Edwards gets hurt, and Cooper started the season in the rotation on that Saturday role, and then they replaced him after week 2. And the thing that's been steady is Edwards coming out of the bullpen and pumping strikes. He's got 5 appearances on the season. He's thrown 12 innings. He hasn't walked anybody. Zero walks through 5 appearances, 12 innings pitched. If you come out of the bullpen in a jam, the worst thing you can do is just put dudes on base, because all that does is exacerbate the problem. If you come in pumping strikes at 95 and your secondary stuff is good, which his is, and your heart rate is level, your pulse doesn't elevate because you're a calm guy, you're perfect in that role. And I think we've seen that from Garrett Edwards this year. That's a really, really pleasant surprise, is the job he's done. So, a lot of the rest from last night was just more of the same. The Tigers pounded out double-digit hits, and they scored 16 runs. They did lay down a couple of bunts in that 6th inning and scored a few runs because UNO decided to just throw the baseball all over the yard and couldn't field a bunt and make a throw. I still say swing away, hit dingers. And then late in the game, we saw Jay Johnson just be real liberal with the substitutions, as you would expect. But those are the types of things right now that I think are encouraging. Dylan Cruz is going to hit. He was 2 for 3 last night, walked. He was on base 3 times. So Tommy White hit a homer. We saw Gavin Dugas hit a homer. He continues his torrid pace so far. A lot of the things that we expected to see, we're seeing. The Tigers are playing really good baseball. They're pitching it really well. But things like Garrett Edwards emerging, the things that maybe we weren't expecting at the start of the season. The start that Alex Milazzo has had offensively has been really encouraging as well. And we've talked about Alex for a long time here, and we all know he's a great defensive catcher. The bat didn't follow him initially. I know he worked really hard last offseason, honestly, over attraction with Terrio and the guys, and had worked really hard on hitting the ball the opposite way, and was at the beginning of the season doing really well. Had the injury, missed all the season, and then obviously you bring in guys like Neal and Jones and dudes that are all-around great players, and he's relegated to a lesser role, but when he's gotten the opportunity as a defensive replacement and the opportunity to hit, he's done really well. Got another knock last night going the opposite way, which shows a lot of patience. So a lot of those things are good to see, because what it does is it gives Jay Johnson options. It gives Jay Johnson depth, and he's got a lot of experience depth. And I loved this comment. After the game, can you play number 3, please? After the game, Jay Johnson was asked what he likes about his team so far through the pre-conference. Again, I mean, the next time we see him, they're playing conference play in College Station against the Aggies. Listen to what he said.
Just super motivated and a lot of confidence, and they can deal with adversity. Now that might sound funny because we've had a lot of blowout games, but they don't get distracted by their feelings and they play. And so they just keep playing, and I anticipate that it'll be a good test, coming up, but it's time for that.
They don't get distracted by their feelings. Did you hear him say it? They don't get distracted by their feelings. Before the season started, we talked about this as one of the biggest questions on this team. We knew they had talent. I mean, you bring back Dylan Crew, you bring back all the guys you did from a year ago, and then you add Tommy White, and you add Paul Skeens, and you add Christian Little. I mean, you all know that. You all know. You had the number 1 signing class in the country. The talent wasn't going to be an issue. The question was going to be, when you have this much talent and guys who have been big-time contributors for you, all of a sudden taking a lesser role, what does that do to your locker room? Are guys willing to accept a lesser role? That was the big question. We talked about it here. I mean, Jay Johnson came on our Rosters to Riches pod and talked about that. How do these guys handle a lesser role? It was something we talked about for a month leading up to this season. And here you are now, having gone through pre-conference play. You're just absolutely on a torrid pace right now. And you've won, is it 11 in a row now? You lose count. It's 11 in a row that you've lost. You've won 11 in a row. And the thing Jay Johnson is saying as you head to conference play is they're just not in their feelings. They just want to go play and win. And they're doing a lot of it right now. At some point in the season, you're going to face adversity. It's just a fact. It's baseball. You have ebbs and flows and ups and downs and streaks, good and bad. It happens. Individually, as a team, it happens. It's baseball. How do they handle that and manage that as they go forward? If they answer that to the affirmative, then this team is going to be as special as we all see that they are and hope that they can be by the time we hit June. All right, LSU beat UNO last night. They'll head to College Station and take on the Aggies Friday for a 3-game weekend series against Texas A&M. One of the worst offensive teams in the league, but it's going to be cold in College Station this weekend. I mean, lows are in the 30s on Friday, so you may have a day or a weekend that is going to be more conducive for pitching and defense than it is offense, but that may be a little bit of an equalizer. See if the Tigers can go there, pitch it, field it, and maybe swing it a little bit and take a series on the road. All right, y'all, it's after further review. Quick break. We'll come back. We'll go around the SEC. If you haven't seen it yet, Aaron Rodgers took a swipe at Adam Schefter today, and Schefter trolled him right back. It was great theater. We'll reset it if you haven't heard. And I do want to talk about LSU football, their opener for 2024 against Southern Cal out in Vegas. We have some details now, date, time, network, all that stuff. We'll get to that next on AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Clegg's Nursery, 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. You know where they are. Segan near Airline. If you're on Segan, heading away from I-10 toward Airline, it's on your left. LA-16 in Denham. You get off the interstate in Denham, you go left. There's not another garden center within a 5-mile radius, that one in Denham. The Mid-City on Donmore. If you turn off of Florida onto Donmore, it is right there on your right. And then the Garden Center in Greenwell Springs. So if you're leaving Central on Greenwell Springs, heading toward Baton Rouge, as soon as you pass the "Thank you for visiting Central" sign, it's immediately on your right. You can't miss it. 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area, serving all of greater Baton Rouge better than anyone. full greenhouses. It is a great time to get in the garden and just plant something. If you're not sure what to plant, they have the answers. Take a picture of your yard. Bring it, show one of their horticultures. Maybe there's things that need more sun or need more shade or don't do it. Like, they can help you with all of that. It's at Clegg's Nursery. They're partnered with True Value Hardware Store, so anything you'd find at a True Value Hardware Store, you'll also find at Clegg's Nursery. It's Clegg's Nursery.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've got that blue sky. I've got that sunshine.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
I had to leave my parents. I had to move schools. I don't know anyone here. Everything keeps changing. Why is this happening to me? I'm sure glad you're here.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
The best kept secret in town.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Remember, March Madness starts tomorrow. Our full day lineup of shows at Pluckers on Bluebonnet. Start your day with OTB 7 to 10. Hunt Palmer 1 to 3, AFR 3 to 6 from Pluckers on Bluebonnet. You're welcome to come out. I'll mention again, if you Pluckers the kitchen doesn't open until 11, but it will be open in the morning if you want to go hang out with Hester and T-Bob and meet the guys and watch their show. We will have complimentary breakfast for listeners that come out from the Heavenly Donuts or Donuts, coffee, kolaches. So there'll be swag and giveaways and stuff. So feel free to get out there at any point, 7 to 10, while Hester and T-Bob are on, even though games haven't started yet. You want to go meet the guys and watch their show, you could do it at Pluckers on Bluebonnet. Then Hunt from 1 to 3 and AFR from 3 to 6. We'll see you there. We'll be there hanging out all day, watching March Madness. Invite you to come out to Pluckers, Nicholson, or Bluebonnet, of course, but the show's tomorrow at the Bluebonnet location. Hat tip, Nick Underhill, a little bit of news here. Free agency has officially begun. Some Saints free agents. So Marquez Callaway Andrew Dowell, Blake Gillikin, Chase Hansen, Albert Huggins, Malcolm Roach did not receive qualifying offers or a minimum tender from the Saints, so they are now free agents. That does not mean they won't return. That just means the Saints didn't extend a qualifying offer or a minimum tender. So they're unrestricted free agents. They can sign wherever they want. The Saints could certainly sign any or all of them back. It's just a matter of what offers, what the market might be like for some of those guys. And Blake Gillikin's interesting because he's been a really good punter for the Saints since they moved on from Thomas Morstead. Malcolm Roach has been a good defensive tackle option for the Saints. And Marquez Callaway's been a good receiver, but you don't want to overpay for them if you're extending qualifying offers or minimum tenders. So you let him test free agency, see what the market will bear, and then see if it makes sense to bring him back. But some players worth keeping an eye on right there. All right, it is after further review. We do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Mississippi State Bulldogs.
Jamarius Burton made a go-ahead jumper with 10 seconds left. Pitt edges Mississippi State 60-59 in a back-and-forth first four-game Tuesday night in Dayton, Ohio. The game included 21 lead changes. That's the most in the NCAA tournament in 5 years. Shaquille Moore missed a wide-open three-pointer from the corner with 2 seconds remaining that would have won it for Mississippi State. Tolu Smith had a layup with 32 seconds left that gave Mississippi State a 1-point lead, but Burton got the lead back for Pitt on his short jumper. Mississippi State finishes the season under Chris Jans at 21-13.
The Vanderbilt Commodores.
Vandy forward Miles Stute has entered the transfer portal. As a sophomore a couple of years ago, Stute led the SEC at 43% from three. He was one of two players playing all 36 games for the Commodores a couple of years ago, but this year took a step back, shot only 36% from three. He's got 2 seasons of eligibility remaining. He will not play with Vanderbilt as they host Yale in the NIT on Tuesday.
The Florida Gators.
Billy Gonzalez returned to Gainesville to once again coach the wide receiver. Remember Billy Gonzalez? He spent 1 season at FAU this past year after leaving Dan Mullen's squad, after leaving when Dan Mullen was fired there in Gainesville. So he was at Florida under Urban Meyer, then went to LSU, then to Mississippi State with Mullen, then to Florida with Mullen, then to FAU, now back to Florida. Billy Gonzalez joining Billy Napier's staff.
The South Carolina Gamecocks.
And infielder Kevin Madden has decided to step away from the baseball program. He's entered the transfer portal as a grad transfer. Madden missed the entire fall after having Tommy John following the 2022 season. He's a transfer from Virginia Tech. He was a 3-year starter at Virginia Tech, started his first season in Columbia, 53 games last season, had Tommy John in the offseason, wasn't playing this year, so now he will head somewhere else with 1 season of eligibility remaining. All right, some baseball scores from last night. Kentucky run-ruled Indiana 12-2 in a mercy rule-shortened game. South Carolina blanked Presbyterian 5-0. Georgia edges Wofford 10-8. That game was in Athens. Tennessee beats Lipscomb 10-0. Florida, no issue with North Florida. 7-2 was your final there. Auburn and Georgia Tech played an extra inning game. That was at Auburn. Auburn, a 12-11 winner in 12 innings. Vanderbilt went to Belmont. Both teams are in Nashville, so an intra-city rivalry. But Vandy beats Belmont 15-6. Jacksonville State ends Ole Miss's title defense with a 10-6 win. That was in Jacksonville, Alabama. So no repeat for the Rebs. Their season's over because they lost a midweek game. Mississippi State beat up on Nichols 12-4. Arkansas, no issues with UNLV 13-7. Bama went to Mobile to play South Alabama and blanked the Jags 4-0. We know LSU beat UNO, and A&M with their final tune-up before LSU comes to town went to Houston and beat the Cougars 5-1. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy Trey Beal and our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products online at gcopnet.com. gcopnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products. Face-to-face sales, service after the sale. That's what you always get at Gulf Coast Office Products. Again, online, gcopnet.com. Have you seen the Aaron Rodgers, Adam Schefter beef yet? So Aaron Rodgers was on the Pat McAfee show. And Rodgers had one thing is very clear. Aaron Rodgers cares way too much about the media reporting stuff about him. Like it's their job. I mean, you can say what you want, but it's their job. The media reports on the NFL. They're going to explore sources to try to break news surrounding the NFL. And there's no bigger story in the NFL right now than Aaron Rodgers. Well, Rodgers, as everyone's waiting on what his decision is going to be, was on the Pat McAfee show today. And here's what Rodgers said about Schefter and Diana Rossini.
Ask Schefter what I text him when he somehow got my number and texted me. I didn't respond to Diana Rossini, I think her name is.
Yes, Diana.
You got my
Great
number
work.
as well. But I would say the same thing that I told Shefty. Lose my number. Ooh. Nice try.
So, lose my number. Nice try. And he threw some shade at Diana Rossini there as well, which, by the way, them's fighting words, okay? Here at AFR, and I think I speak for you, Muse, and you, Paulie, as well. We love Diana Rossini. Friend of the show.
Big Diana Rossini show right here.
Huge Diana Rossini fans here. Diana Rossini actually came on the show and did the bit where she pretends to be her very New York heavy accent mom. And her very New York heavy accent mom asked me if I had a wife.
I remember that.
It was wonderful. Big Diana Rossini fan here. So, Aaron Rodgers, you going after Diana Rossini, you got probs, bro. No, he ain't worried about me at all. But I don't care. If I ever see him, we'll have words about that. Anyway, Adam Schefter brilliantly retorted. Adam Schefter tweeted to his 10.2 million Twitter followers confirming Aaron Rodgers' report, and he screen grabbed his text from Aaron Rodgers, which says, "Lose my number. Good try, though." How about a round of applause for Shefty? I mean, this is really actually grade A trolling. Job very well done. It's impossible to troll a troll. So a completely appropriate reply. Aaron Rodgers does not like when other people could control the narrative or break news. But you have to understand that there are always multiple people involved in decision making. And while Schefter may not be talking directly to Aaron Rodgers, and God bless him for trying, he's doing his job. And Rodgers doesn't have to confirm anything, and that's okay. It's his prerogative. But Rodgers is talking to the Jets, and Rodgers is talking to the Packers, and Rodgers has an agent. And there's a lot of people involved that do talk to Schefter and Diana Rossini and all these people. So if Schefter gets a piece of news from someone with the Jets or someone with the Packers or another source, you should always confirm news through multiple sources. So all he's doing is trying to validate that news by going to the source and say, would you like to confirm this or comment? Rodgers doesn't have to, but he's not the only one involved in the decision-making process. So anyway, great theater on Twitter today. God, I love Twitter. All right, it's after further review. By the way, remember the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge $1 Million Bracket Challenge is here, powered by Acura of Baton Rouge and Coors Light. Yeah, if you get a perfect bracket, it's $1 million and a 3-year lease on an Acura. But remember, our local prize, first place, you get $2,023. Second place, you get a 75-inch TV. Third place, you get a weekend stay at the Beau Rivage, and every winner gets Coors Light swag packs, and there's winners per round as well. So if your bracket busts the first day, no worries, you'll still have opportunities to win each round of the bracket challenge. So keep coming back all throughout March Madness. If you haven't signed up yet, you're going to fill out a bracket. You know you are. We all are. Go to 1045ESPN.com and play our bracket challenge as well. It's totally free. Again, first place wins $2,023 cash money. It's at 1045ESPN.com to register. All right, it's after further review, y'all. Oh, and of course, I got to remind you about DraftKings, official sports betting partner of the NBA. And right now, the madness is here. Visit DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. This is the time, y'all. The madness begins tomorrow. Remember, make a $5 bet on the NCAA tournament. They'll give you $200 in free bets. That's for new customers, and you got to use the promo code Baton Rouge. So it's easy. Go to your phone, App Store, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, use the promo code Baton Rouge, bet $5 on any college basketball game. They'll give you $200 in free bets. It's that easy. You can also opt in for no sweat bets. It's all at the DraftKings Sportsbook. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and be sure to use the promo code Baton Rouge. Do we have the disclaimer over there? So I have to read it again. Damn it. Now I got to find the freaking disclaimer. And Muse, I don't know if I guess I have to do this the next couple of days too, don't I?
Well, no, I'm trying to record it right now, and then hopefully you get through it. Just take it slow.
All right, here we go. 21 and older, physically present in Louisiana, select parishes only. Bonus issued as free bets. Opt-in required. One free bet issued based on amount of initial losing college basketball bet. Eligibility, wagering, and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms. Licensee partner, Golden Nugget Lake Charles. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-426-2537. Yeah! We got it, Muse.
Perfect.
All right. We'll speed that up so I sound like a chipmunk tomorrow. Taylor Calandro, let's talk booze next.
AFR.
We are brought to you by the Renaissance and the Watermark, two of Baton Rouge's premier hotels. Same ownership group. The Watermark Hotel in downtown Baton Rouge, the Renaissance Hotel in Southtown. That's Bluebonnet, right near the interstate. You know where the Renaissance is. It's where the LSU football team stays before football games, where so many teams that come in town, they stay. So many of your family, when they come in town, will stay at the Renaissance or downtown at the Watermark. Of course, you all know about their beautiful rooms. They're one-of-a-kind amenities. But remember also, both the Watermark and the Renaissance are brilliant for hosting your event. Last Friday, we had Take Me Out to Tallulah, game watch party at Tallulah at the Renaissance. But if it's the Gregory fine dining restaurant inside the Watermark in downtown Baton Rouge, if it's Tallulah inside, a casual upscale dining inside of the Renaissance, or you have a gathering of 12 to 500, the Watermark and the Renaissance. Check them out today. Great sponsors of AFR, the Watermark and the Renaissance.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
At Corville Toyota in Opelousas, you can get 3.99% financing on select 2023 models, and as always, you will never pay over MSRP. We also have a large selection of pre-owned inventory. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corville Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
I had to leave my parents. I had to move schools. I don't know anyone here. Everything keeps changing. Why is this happening to me? I'm sure glad you're here.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
They're the gang with the slang. This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandro.
All right, let's wrap up hour number 1. Taylor Calandro joins us to answer your booze questions in. You can email us, tweet us, jump in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat, or text 225-396-4400, 396-4400. How are you, dude? Oh, he dropped. Good opportunity to get your questions in now. Matt at 1045ESPN.com. Jump in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat on the Watch 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. While you're there, by the way, please smash the like button. If you haven't done so yet, subscribe up to the channel. And it's where all of our live programming goes. And you can text 225-396-4400, 396-4400. And we now have Taylor. How are you, dude?
Hello?
There you are. How are you, dude?
I'm swell. I just landed in the motherland. How are you?
The motherland? Where are you?
I'm in Louisville.
Oh, I thought maybe you were going overseas again. What are you doing in Louisville?
We're doing a Luxco barrel tomorrow. We're picking a Rebel Yell and or a Ezra Brooks barrel.
Yes, very nice. Is this first time?
First time going to Luxco. Yeah, we were supposed to go like pre-COVID, right around the time COVID started, and that didn't happen. So we're doing it now.
What's the? By the way, real quick, what's new over at the? You're in Kentucky, but what's new at the store right now?
What's new at the store right now? Yeah, Yellowstone single malt. Yeah, we got Yellowstone single malt. I'm staying next to my dad.
I could tell. I love it though. That's so good. The Godfather.
The new Yellowstone single malt. We got it the other day. I haven't tried it.
Walk me through. So I've done a tasting, a barrel pick with you all before, but with samples here, right? Mm-hmm. What's the difference when you pick a barrel and you're at the distillery?
Well, I've never done one here, so I'm not sure.
Just in general, because I know you've done them at distilleries before.
Right. So, I mean, instead of having bottles in front of you, you have actual barrels. And they just thief it out of the barrel. A thief is like basically a long copper straw that they just get it out and put in your glass. And usually when we taste barrel samples, we have pieces of charcoal and all kinds of goodness floating around in there. It is literally the best whiskey you can drink.
Interesting.
Straight out the barrel. I mean, some of the best whiskey I've ever had was straight out the barrel at the distillery. And I don't know if it's because of just where you are and all that, and if it's just kind of a mental thing, but yeah, some of the best whiskey I've ever had has been straight out the barrel.
Well, it makes sense, right? I mean, if you're getting something that's barrel proof and you're getting it directly from the barrel, that would almost be like eating a vegetable that you picked in your garden and just brought it right in and ate it.
And I'm a fan of uncut, unfiltered, and so straight out the barrel, I just think that's the way the whiskey should be. So, I mean, it's like I said, some of the best whiskey I've ever had has been straight out the barrel. So, yeah, we just taste a bunch of barrels, and then we pick one that we like. Or we try to pick barrels that we think our customers will like more than we like.
Is that tough, though? Because, I mean, everybody's tastes are different.
Everybody's tastes are different, but there's a general palate that Baton Rouge has. So, we just learn it. I mean, you learn it. Baton Rouge loves big, bold red wine like cabs and stuff. With whiskey, Baton Rouge tends to like a little more easy, weeded kind of stuff. So
okay, interesting.
We try not to. If it were up to me, I'd be having hot lava on the shelf at all times with our barrel picks, but it's not completely up to me. So
let's get a few questions in. Here's one from Brandon that said, "Ask Taylor, why can't we get liquor shipped to Louisiana from online? Any chance that changes in the future?"
Why can't we? It's all about money. I mean, it's just the lobby and all that stuff. There's lots of reasons, and I don't really want to talk about them on the radio.
Okay.
But I'm sure it's going to happen eventually because it's happened everywhere else. So I would expect it to happen at some point in the next few years.
Greg Lehman asked Taylor, what's your favorite St. Patty's Day alcoholic beverage?
I love beer, just straight beer. And if I had to drink whiskey, it would be like a Jameson. I like to get in the spirit for St. Patty's Day.
Jerry said your opinion on Remus Repeal Reserve, and what's a good price on it, he asked.
I think a good price is around the $100 mark if I'm thinking of the right one. And I have tried it, and it is very good. It's a full-flavored, bold bourbon, which I enjoy.
Real quick, Brian Chandler asked Taylor which Penelope bottle to grab.
Architect or Valencia. No. Architect or Rosé.
Enjoy Kentucky.
All right, Matt.
Thanks, dude. That is Taylor Calandro. After further review, Sports Center coming up. Jameis Winston, why he returned to New Orleans, next.
AFR.
Brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffery in Lafayette. Online at theantiagingclinics.com. That's theantiagingclinics.com. You want to look and feel like your younger self? You can at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. They actually just acquired the most advanced technology in microneedling in the world, and they have it at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. You want the latest technology, the most cutting-edge techniques, and menu of services? They've got them. That's why they were voted the nation's best aesthetic practice. And when it comes to hormone replacement therapy, trust Dr. Todd Howell in your care. I do, and you should as well. If you want to feel like your younger self, there's a way. The Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana can help. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. That's theantiagingclinics.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,000 off new 2022 Jeep Gladiators and $8,000 off new 23 Jeep Grand Cherokees. All new Bayou automotive vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi.
At this point, as I sit here, I think since Friday, I made it clear that my intention was to play, and my intention was to play for the New York Jets.
Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers on the Pat McAfee Show today declaring his plans for the 2023 season. He said he's not holding up a trade. The teams now need to work on the final stages of a deal, which would include restructuring his contract and agreeing on trade compensation. Rodgers also said he's not upset about Green Bay's decision to move on to quarterback Jordan Love. The Cowboys released running back Ezekiel Elliott, making him a free agent. Receiver Juju Smith-Schuster expected to sign a 3-year, $33 million deal with the Patriots. The NBA suspended Grizzlies star Ja Morant 8 games without pay for conduct detrimental to the league. According to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski, the suspension covers the 6 games he'll miss, including tonight's matchup against Dallas. He's eligible to rejoin the Grizzlies Monday. His return to games will take place soon thereafter. Morant met today with Commissioner Adam Silver over his handling of a firearm at a suburban Denver nightclub earlier this month.
Need to spring back into hiring season? You need Indeed, the smart hiring platform that delivers 4 times more hires than all other sites combined, according to Talent Nest. Post a job and hire ASAP. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios. That's right.
Hour 2. Off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Musu. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Momma Scone, 1 hour from right now. It is customary. We've been doing this for about a decade now. My mom comes on the day before March Madness begins, and we go head-to-head on a Momma Scone bracket challenge. So me against my mom to prove you need know absolutely nothing about basketball to fill out a bracket and maybe have some success, as yes, one time she has defeated me. All right, so we'll get to that an hour from right now. A little bit of LSU football news today. We did find out the day, time, and network for the 2024 football season opener. You know, LSU is going to open up 2023 in Orlando against Florida State, but next year, 2024, the Tigers open up with the Vegas Kickoff Classic.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
Yeah, you know what? Give me more Vegas, Muse. I'm in 2.
South Alabama and Rice. They're all scheduled for September games.
I'll bet you for September.
September 28th, South Alabama. September 29th, Rice. So they're back-to-back.
Well, you said
there.
28th and 29th.
Well, that's what they have here.
That's
so
wrong.
they're going to move one of those.
September
Probably
28th
Rice.
and September the 29th. That would be back-to-back days of playing football. Where are you looking?
At LSUsports.net. They just have to move that, obviously. That's
okay, we don't need Viva Las Vegas anymore.
Oh, man. I was in the moment, man. I was feeling it. Like
four times is enough.
It wasn't 4 times. It was like 2. It was just a long song.
It was at least 3. Okay, so point being, they're going to play. They will move one of those games up so that after they play on that Sunday, they're not going to play in the desert on Sunday, and then on a short week come home and play an SEC game. It's not going to happen. So LSU will play Sunday, September the 1st. They'll come home and they'll play some crappy FCS school, I'm sure, if they're still playing FCS opponents, because that's the other caveat.
That's what I was just about to ask.
Is because if they go to a 9-game schedule, the game that's going to be eliminated is going to be the FCS game. So LSU's already got 4 non-conference games for 2024. You're going to play USC and UCLA. You play UCLA later in September in Baton Rouge, but you want to make sure that you fill probably certainly one of your other non-conference games the week after you play USC. But that means then you probably go SEC game before you play UCLA. So load it up. But it's the benefit of an expanded playoff because you can see more of these games. You can see more of these games without the threat of it ruining your season and your opportunity to win a championship. I know you say, well, every week matters, but every week doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, right now, you can load up your schedule with crap games that nobody wants to see. Give me, you're going to tell me you'd rather watch LSU play, what did you say it was? South Alabama and who else?
Alabama and Rice.
You'd rather see LSU play South. And by the way, Muse, it's so funny that you're at LSUsports.net.
Yeah.
LSUsports.net has it wrong. Future FBschedules.com actually has it right here. So LSU plays USC on September the 1st, and then they're home against Rice on the 7th.
Oof, tough scene there.
And then they will have an SEC game. And then they'll play UCLA on the 21st, and then South Alabama on the 28th. So you're going to have to go USC. They're going to play 5 September games.
Well, do you mentioned getting rid of the FCS or Rice in this case?
I don't think that September 14th is going to be the open date.
Well, no, I know that. We know where the open day is going to be, probably, but not probably. We do know where it's going to be. Do you think there's a chance
if they play Alabama every year?
Do you think there's a chance they ditch the UCLA game because that would give them 10 Power 5 games? You don't think there's any chance?
No, they're going to get the return trip, and that's going to be a massive gate.
That's fair.
I'll tell you this, I don't mind saying this. In 2020, when LSU was set to host Bama and Texas for the return trip, and the Bama game ended up being like 25% capacity or whatever it was, and LSU was terrible. And then in the Texas game got washed. LSU was expecting to net $10 and $11 million respectively in the Alabama and Texas games. Normal home game, you're netting roughly half of that.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit more than half, depending on the opponent and what the capacity may be, and obviously how long people stay and concessions and all as they project. So you're not gonna they would expect something along those lines, bringing UCLA to Baton Rouge. They're not gonna punt that game. They're just not. So what I will be interested to see is how that shapes up for 2024. You're going to look at USC on September 1st, Rice a week later, 6 days later in Baton Rouge, an SEC game, whoever that may be, then UCLA, then South Alabama, so you get a breather. You're going to play 5 September games. How about that? As it looks like it's going to play out. So we'll wait to see what the rest of the SEC schedule looks like, but we don't know. We don't know who the opponents are going to be yet based on what the future schedule may look like. So, all right, it's after further review. Let me knock out a quick break. I wanted to talk about Jameis explaining his decision to return to the Saints. So let me do that when we come back. Also got to talk some Lakers Pels from last night, just the historical nature of that loss, which further underscores what this Pelicans team is. It's what we've said they are. They're going to win some games, but they're going to disappoint you. It's what this season is. You have a large enough sample size to know. But We'll put some context around what happened last night coming up here shortly. We're glad you're with us here. It's a Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Pluckers. Let me knock out a quick break, and we'll continue here on AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. Another 5-star Google review. This one came from Gilbert RV, who said Chris Ainsworth, his technician, was courteous and professional. While he was very personable, he was focused on the task at hand. He and his assistant were extremely thorough and knowledgeable. Another 5-star Google review for River City's 1 Hour Air. If it's Chris or any of their great technicians, they're expertly trained technicians coming out to your house, you know you're going to be in great hands from people you can trust to be in your home that are going to do great work at a fair price. That's River City's 1 Hour Air. Look for the big yellow vans and trucks with the giant clock on the side. You see them all over town. And right now, it's so important. Right now, while we're in March, before we get to the warm weather months, right now, call River City's 1 Hour Air for that AC, that preseason AC tune-up. Mention the Moscona special. They'll knock $25 off the price. River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off MSRP on select new 2022 Ford F-150 trucks. $10,000 off plus 0% financing. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
I had to leave my parents. I had to move schools. I don't know anyone here. Everything keeps changing. Why is this happening to me? I'm sure glad you're here.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Super weird, but we can take care of it.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Pluckers Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, so we have some conflicting reports here and publications about future LSU scheduling. So we know in 2024 the league schedule is very likely to change, right? They're likely going to 9 games. LSU currently, as it's stated at the LSU website and at FBSschedules.com, they have Southern Cal, UCLA, Rice, and South Alabama. Conflicting dates. There's also reports out there that the Rice game has been moved to a future year, which I think we talked about. And I think we had Verge on not long ago to talk about. We're trying to figure. So what we know now is LSU-USC. This much we know. LSU-USA Sunday, September the 1st, 6:30 on ABC. That's set. ESPN, ABC set that today. So we know that. And it appears as though the UCLA game is going to be on September the 21st of that year. So the rest of everything, non-conference and conference, remains to be seen how it may all be. When I get to the next break, I'm going to text Verge Osbury and see if I can get an answer to this question. I'd hate to leave that dangling and give bad information, but there's conflicting reports in a lot of different places with all of this. So let me see if I can get an answer coming up here in just a little bit. Okay, it's After Further Review. We're glad to have you aboard with us here. Momma Scone in 40 minutes from right now. It is that time of year, in fact. The Momma Scone Bracket Challenge is going down. We learned on Tuesday that Jameis Winston is returning to the New Orleans Saints. And competitively for the Saints, I totally understand why you do this. You went into last year with Jameis as your starter. Physically very gifted. He's been a really good teammate. He is still only 29 years old. He was your starter. Andy Dalton was your backup. We know what happened. Jameis got hurt. Dalton started. Jameis sort of lost his job due to injury. I and many others assumed that Jameis would go seek an opportunity to be a starter somewhere because it's not going to happen in New Orleans, clearly by the signing of Derek Carr. Yet we find that Jameis did, in fact, re-sign with the New Orleans Saints at a lesser contract. It's so interesting to me because I would assume Jameis would find some place where he could at least go compete for the opportunity to be a starting quarterback, which isn't going to happen in New Orleans because it's Derek Carr's job. He essentially signed a lesser contract to come to stay in New Orleans to be a backup. And so Jameis on social media today posted a note on his Twitter, which is titled, "Why I Came Back." And he explains why he made the decision to return to New Orleans. I'll read it to you. "First, I love this city. In all of my professional career, I've never felt so culturally in tune with a fan base. The Saints fans that I've met have been incredible. Y'all have made me and my family feel at home. That is why last season was so disappointing to me. I want to see this team and city succeed. I know great things are ahead for this team and this city. I was led here by the Spirit. That's why I would never run away from this new challenge. The things that led me here are still here. A stable organization, a championship caliber team, and a great fan base. This year's team, like last year's team, is built to win a Super Bowl. Let there be no doubt, I am still a championship caliber starting quarterback in this league. However, getting healthy and staying healthy is my number one priority. And I have suffered 3 devastating injuries over the last 2 years. I need to stay healthy to assist this team in getting to where we want to go. Most importantly, I need to stay healthy to get me where I want to go in my career. With that being said, I will serve and lead however I need to see this organization and city win. I'm proud to say for one more year, at least, who dat?" So, at this point, I don't know how anyone could say a negative thing about Jameis Winston. If you want to make all the crab leg jokes, and many of you have, if you want to talk about the guy who, when he was at Florida State, was jumping on the table in the student union, grabbing his crotch and shouting expletives, or when he was suspended, came out of the locker room dressed, and Jimbo Fisher had to send him back into the locker room, all the things that oozed immaturity, what is evident, not by his words, but by his actions, is that Jameis Winston has matured into a very thoughtful man, husband, father, teammate, leader, all of that stuff. You want to joke about eating a W? We've all done it, and justifiably so. It was hilarious. You want to talk about young Jameis, like putting his finger in Marshawn Lattimore's face before Mike Evans crushed him? All of that was warranted. All of it. But at the same time, you have to acknowledge what he has become. And what he has become is a great leader. Someone who is, when the Saints signed Jameis Winston, this was my hope. When I said, here you have a guy that has all the physical ability in the world. From the time he was a little kid, he was a good enough baseball player to be a number 1 draft pick. He was a great enough football player to win a national championship, a Heisman Trophy, to be the number 1 overall pick. And when he went to Tampa, the first time in his life, athletically, he was humbled. And how you face that adversity and how you manage that adversity largely defines who you are. There are so many examples throughout the history of the NFL and all sports of guys who didn't handle that well. Jamarcus Russell didn't handle it well. Ryan Leaf didn't handle it well. Those are guys who were out of the league in a couple of years. There are other players that busted. They just weren't really good players, but stuck around. There's some of them in the league right now bouncing around. Jameis said, I'm going to go sit behind Drew Brees and learn how to be great. He got his body in shape. He had LASIK to fix his eyes. In many instances, that's just the difference between being a grown man who's a husband and a father who has responsibilities and things that force you to grow up, and being a young guy who's the big man on campus who thinks he's bulletproof. That's just life. Life will kick all of us in the ass eventually. Every single person listening to me, you're nodding your head in your car. I don't care who you are, where you're from, how old you are. At some point, life kicks every single one of us square in the ass. And we have to deal with it. And we all sometimes respond differently to those things. Like, you all know what I'm like. You have your own cross to bear, your own burden, whatever it was in life that you faced and had to get through. We've all done it. Every adult human has done it. Some of us even younger than others. Jameis went through it. And he's come out of it better, a better person for it. And I respect so much what he said there. Now, professionally, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, the Saints, I don't believe are built to win a championship. He's in the locker room every day. He thinks differently. Cool. I agree with him that I think he can be a starting caliber quarterback in the NFL. Now, he said a championship caliber quarterback, and I don't know if that's true. He'll have to prove that somewhere. But he's not going to get the opportunity to prove it in New Orleans unless if there's an injury to Derek Carr or something goes woefully wrong, which I'm hoping isn't the case. But I can at least respect what he's saying. He's saying, I can take an opportunity this year to let my body continue to heal. He described it. 3 devastating injuries in 2 years. An ACL injury, a back injury, and a foot injury. And the back injury, it's understating it. The guy fractured vertebrae, had a broken back. So yes, take this year, let yourself get healed, and by the time you're 30, do you have another opportunity elsewhere? It's probably not going to be in New Orleans, but do you have an opportunity elsewhere as the market resets? I mean, he's essentially now taken 4 years of his prime and existed in the NFL as a backup due to other circumstances. Voluntarily for 1 year behind Drew Brees and then back-to-back years with injuries, and now he's volunteering to be a backup again. I wish him well, man. I hope it works out for Jameis. I don't know. The other thing about what Jameis said there, and he's been a model citizen, not a speck of off-the-field issues. He's been a great leader. He's been a great teammate. He's been great in the locker room. He's done everything right, from losing the weight to fixing his eyes to exhibiting patience and never being a locker room problem, despite the fact that he last year when he lost his job to injury could have made a fuss, a stink, didn't. But the other thing, too, and we talk about it all the time, is, man, if you love not just New Orleans, but Louisiana, and Louisiana culturally is so different even from the rest of the South. The South all is very similar, but Louisiana is just different because a lot of the French heritage and a lot of the things you don't need me to explain. If it's the accent or the cuisine or all the different stuff, the Napoleonic code, it's different here. It is. And we embrace the fact that we're different. And if you're from outside, that's okay. But if you wrap your arms around us, we're going to give you the biggest bear hug in the world and love you forever. That's why people like Drew Brees understood that. Zion Williamson right now understands that. Joe Burrow understood that. And they embrace the culture, and they're going to be beloved forever because of it. And And Jameis, I'm not saying that he is those guys, because those guys also won at an exceptionally high level. Well, Zion still has a lot to prove. But my point is, it doesn't matter who you are or where you're from or any of that stuff. If you embrace the culture, we will in turn embrace you and love you forever. And Jameis is on his way to doing that. You make a comment like that about the city and about the fan base and about Louisiana and being culturally aligned and loving it and wanting to win for this fan base, and it resonates. It just resonates here more than it does a lot of places. So I salute him, man. I wish him well. I hope eventually he gets his opportunity to get back on the field and see if he can be a starting caliber quarterback, a championship caliber quarterback in the NFL. Love for it to happen in New Orleans, but it doesn't look like that's in the cards. But in any way, I salute Jameis Winston for making the decision that he made, or at least for explaining it the way he explained it. Okay, it's after further review. We'll knock out a quick break. Haven't gotten to talk yet about the Lakers pounding the Pels last night. Boy, that was disappointing. But I mean, when you're the Lakers and you're arguably the most storied franchise in the history of the NBA, and you do something that's never been done before in your franchise's history, it's generally not going to be a good night for the other team. That's what happened last night. All right, it's after further review. We're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020. Speaking of Jameis having LASIK, Williamson Eye Center. Now, Jameis didn't have his LASIK with Dr. Blake Williamson, but could have. 924-2020. 924-2020 or WilliamsonEye.com. That's WilliamsonEye.com. I tell you all the time, change your life. Change your life. Go for a free consultation. Just walk in the door. Just go meet Dr. Blake Williamson. Let him explain the process. Let him do that examination to determine what is the best refractive procedure for you to let you see without contacts or glasses. It is so liberating, freeing to wake up in the morning and just see. To not have to reach for glasses or shove contacts in your eye. To not have to squint to see street signs. To not have to squint to see the scroll on the bottom of the screen. To see your world with definition, to see the fine print in your life. It's amazing. I got to experience it thanks to Dr. Blake Williamson, and you can as well. Call 924-2020. Let this be the push. 924-2020 or WilliamsonEye.com. Okay, it's after further review. We're not going to break. We'll do some overrated, underrated still to come here. Usually we'll have Tigers in the pros. Momma Scone, 30 minutes from right now. The Momma Scone Bracket Challenge. We're looking forward to having Momma Scone back, and glad you're here. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR. It's a raving fan shout-out. Presented by Darren James & Associates, brokered by eXp Realty.
How about another 5-star Zillow review for Darren James? This one says, this is the second home Darren has sold for me and my wife. We could not be more pleased. Very professional, great communication and marketing skills, and always quick to respond to our questions or needs. In addition, he surrounds himself with a great team. How many times have you hired a realtor, try to get an answer and couldn't? If you had hired Darren James, you'd never worry about that. Why would you call anyone else other than the realtor who sells more homes than anyone? He's in the top 1% of realtors in America. There are millions of realtors in the United States of America. Darren James is in the top 100 in America as far as the number of homes sold. Yours could be next. 335-7666 or agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
104.5 ESPN is here with $1 million bracket challenge powered by Acura of Baton Rouge and Coors Light. See how you're stacking up now at 1045ESPN.com. First place prize is $2,023. If your bracket is perfect, you will win $1 million and a 3-year lease on a 2023 Acura Integra. It's the $1 million bracket challenge powered by Acura of Baton Rouge and Coors Light.
Okay. Just spoke to Verge Osbury. Thanks to Verge. He called me there in the break, so I appreciate the clarification. Okay. If you're just joining us, LSU, it was announced today, is going to play Southern Cal in that season opener in Vegas for 2024. It was announced today. Obviously, there's no ESPN now has, in 2024, will have the whole SEC contract. So they didn't have to wait on pecking order, things like that. So we know LSU-USC is going to be on September the 1st. There were 3 other non-conference games scheduled. I say were because, as Paulie pointed out, the Rice game has been moved to a future year. So right now for 2024, LSU has 3 non-conference football games on the schedule. Southern Cal, September the 1st in Las Vegas. The UCLA game, which is the 4th playing date. I believe, did we say it was the 21st? Well, I have it right here. My apologies. Yes, September 21st. Is UCLA. That's locked in. He was very clear. That UCLA game's not moving. I assumed for a lot of reasons, but that's it's just a massive thing when you get that game in Baton Rouge, right? I mean, you sign these deals, you're willing to go play the game on the road to get the return game because of the financial payout of the home game. So USC and UCLA are locked in. South Alabama is the other non-conference game. However, the date of that game is still TBD. They can essentially, my understanding is LSU can kind of maneuver that game wherever they want it on the schedule. It would make the most sense. This is me opining, by the way, because this is not set. Verge said they haven't decided where they're going to put the South Alabama game. But it would make the most sense, wouldn't it, that if you're going to go play USC on a Sunday in Las Vegas, you're traveling home Monday, off day Tuesday, and you start preparation Wednesday, you prepare Wednesday, Thursday, a walkthrough Friday, and you're playing on Saturday. You don't want that to be against an SEC opponent. right? So your only other option would be to put the South Alabama game there. The other thing that you got to consider, which I hadn't thought, and Verge just mentioned it to me, was you also don't know with the SEC if in a given year, in this year, you're going to play 5 home games or 5 road games, if they go to 9, which hasn't been determined. So it could be a year where LSU has 5 road games. And if you have 5 road games in 2024 and you're already playing USC in Vegas, then half of your schedule is a road game. So they're trying to – can you imagine if LSU ended up playing at USC or in Vegas against USC on a Sunday and then 6 days later was playing a road SEC game? So there's a lot of balls in the air to juggle. And we don't even know yet if the SEC is going to lock in a 9-game schedule and how that rotation is going to work. But what we know for certain, USC Sunday, September the 1st, UCLA Saturday, September the 14th in 2024. We know that for sure. And the only other non-conference game that will be on the schedule for that year is the home game against South Alabama, date TBD, and we see what else the rest of the SEC schedule is. Did I explain that adequately? Does that make sense? And you look perplexed. Anything else that I didn't explain well? So
they did move the Rice game?
The Rice game has been moved because if you play 9 league games, you don't have a spot for another game. So Rice is the one that got moved to a future year.
To a future year. Okay, yes. I missed that part because that's where I was real confused. I'm like, well, they're going to have to eventually, make a decision on not having 4 conference games, but non-conference games.
I think he said.
So that makes sense. Okay,
I think he said 2030. Don't quote me on this. I think he said 2030.
It's not important. It's LSU. Rice.
It's a future year. It'll be a non-conference game that's made up at some point during the year, but or during in the future. So I hope I explained all that well.
Yeah, no. Now that makes perfect sense.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So 2024, you've got UCLA Sunday. They have to play both LA schools in the same year, of course. You have USC in Vegas on Sunday, September the 1st. You had UCLA in Baton Rouge on Saturday, September the 21st. The only other non-conference game you have is against South Alabama, date TBD. But I'm opining here, very likely the second playing date, so you don't end up with an SEC school on that playing date. Now, we'll see what the SEC does. Do they go 8 games? Do they go 9 games? I was surprised when Deli was here a couple of weeks ago. He said point blank that it was maybe like 55-45, 9 games. Like, it was definitely not a consensus on 9 games. So they got to get over that hump. And, we'll know as we move here into the spring and get the spring meetings, they make this decision. Because you got to make a decision. Because all these teams that have, look at LSU. It's a great example. They had to move the Rice game because if you're going to play a 9-game schedule, you had to punt one of your non-conference games, and these games are scheduled so far in advance. You got to have time to do this, to maneuver schedules and all. A lot of parts are going to move with all this. So, anyway, I appreciate Verge for calling to clarify some of that. So I hope I explained it all. Okay, it's after further review. Mama Scone in about 20 minutes from right now. We're brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. ShawBillsTire.com. Remember, Shawbills, home of the Charlie's Dozen, and Shawbills is home of the price match guarantee. If you see a tire advertised cheaper somewhere than you got it at Shawbills, they'll match it. ShawBillsTire.com. 18 locations in South Louisiana. The newest location is in LaPlace. So for Morgan City, LaPlace, Baton Rouge, West Baton Rouge, Lafayette, all points in between, there's a Shawbills near you. If you want name brand tires at wholesale prices, go to Shawbills. ShawBillsTire.com. That's ShawBillsTire.com. Ask about the Charlie's Dozen. It's a dozen benefits extended to you and every vehicle in your family when you buy tires at Shawbills. ShawBillsTire.com. ShawBillsTire.com. Shawbills. We keep you rolling. Here was Willie Green last night after the Pelicans got absolutely drubbed by the Lakers there at the Blender.
We let their shot making just demoralize us. And they came out and they made shots early. I thought our sense of urgency was lacking, but it just came down to they made shots early. We missed a ton of them.
You know what's so weird? Like what he said after the Portland game was about urgency and how much urgency the team. What was the quote? Do you remember the quote, or can you find it? It was a very short cut. After the game, on Sunday against Portland, where he talked about the urgency the team had and the fire and the intensity. He said it's time to go. It's go time is basically what he said. That time passed. You just are what you are. Brandon Ingram played last night, scored 22, was really good. But even with that, y'all, the Los Angeles Lakers have been in existence since 1947. They've won 33 division titles, 19 conference titles, 17 NBA championships. They've had 38 Hall of Famers wear that jersey. They've retired 13 of those jersey numbers. From Jerry West to Magic, Shaq, Kobe, Worthy, and Wilt, the Lakers are the most storied franchise in the history of the NBA. And they did something last night that in their storied history they'd never done before. 15 three-pointers, the most in one half of basketball in the history of the Los Angeles Lakers organization. Now, the caveat is the three-point shot was introduced in 1979. So it's actually only been 44 years. Only 44 years since they've done that. Third largest halftime lead in franchise history, 35 points. And for the Pelicans, it was the largest halftime deficit in franchise history. You are what you are. You are what you are. There are going to be days where they'll probably go out and beat the Rockets in the next two. The next four are all winnable. Rockets twice, Spurs, Hornets. Hornets. You got 4 straight games against awful basketball teams that you should win all of them. And you'll probably win 2 and then you'll lose 1 because that's just the MO of this team right now. They are not consistent. And to be a contender, you've got to be consistent. You got to beat the teams you're supposed to beat. And this team doesn't do it. And when they're faced with opportunities like they were last night, they fell on their face. So it's just disappointing. And I'm going to continue to watch. I'm just not going to be emotional about it. I've told you this, when they lost to the Magic a few weeks ago, when they absolutely had to go on a run and they lost a home game to a terrible team, I disengaged emotionally. I'm going to watch. Maybe they make the play-in. Would love to see it if they do. Would love to see them get that experience. I just can't allow myself to be emotional about this team anymore because every time you allow yourself and you expose yourself emotionally to this team, a night like last night happens. It's not going to do it. All right, it's after further review. We missed overrated, underrated. My apologies, but I wanted to get to the stuff first said about the scheduling. I'm assuming most of you cared more about clarification on the future LSU football schedule from the senior associate AD in charge of scheduling than Muso asking me if Hot Pockets are overrated or underrated. So let's do this. We'll knock out a quick break. We'll come back, and Muso will do Tigers and the Pros. Stay here. It's AFR presented by Pluckers.
AFR.
I had a great call earlier today with my friends over at ProCharge, ProChargeEV.com. You see electric vehicles everywhere. What you don't see are tons of EV chargers everywhere, and ProCharge is trying to change that. They are a local Baton Rouge company. This is part of the group that Terrio is a part of. They're a local Baton Rouge company. What that means for you, if you're a business owner and you install these EV chargers, it's an amenity for your customers. Whether you drive an EV or not is irrelevant. People do. And people have to have a place to charge. It's an amenity that will bring customers to your business. It's an amenity for the employees of your business, and it can also be a revenue generator. There are tap-to-pay options on electric vehicle chargers, and ProCharge can manage all of that, so you just get a check at the end of every month. It's passive income for your business. Learn more about your options with ProCharge, a local company with local electricians, local installers, inventory on stock, local. It's ProCharge. Learn more online again, ProChargeEV.com. Superior EV charging solutions, ProChargeEV.com.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside off the bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,000 off new 2022 Jeep Gladiators and $8,000 off new 23 Jeep Grand Cherokees. All new Bayou automotive vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
I had to leave my parents. had to move schools. I don't know anyone here. Everything keeps changing. Why is this happening to me? I'm sure glad you're here.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. Jameis Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Remember, live at Plucker's tomorrow for the start of the NCAA tournament. Off the bench, 7 to 10. A Hunt Palmer, 1 to 3. AFR, 3 to 6. Y'all coming out. And if you are thinking about the morning as well, you can go meet the guys. Go meet Hester and T-Bob. We will have complimentary breakfast for our listeners. We'll have swag to give away. So coming out, hang out with the guys in the morning as well. Maybe if you're playing hooky all day, come have some coffee, donuts, kolaches. We'll have breakfast out there for everybody in the morning if you want to meet Hester and T-Bob. They'll be there. Plucker's Kitchen isn't going to be open, but they will open the doors for anybody that wants to come and watch the show and hang out. So be a good day. Full day tomorrow at Plucker's. Okay, Muso. Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge gets engaged.
Alrighty, let's start in the NBA. Last night, Trendon Watford, starting role for the Blazers, played 40 minutes as well. Stuffed the stat sheet once again. 10 points for Watford off of 4 of 12 shooting. Would add 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals to round out his night. The Blazers lost there to the Knicks. Alex Lang, big bounce-back performance for the Langer yesterday in spring training. 1 shutout inning of relief. Did walk 2 guys, but was able to pitch around it. Lowered the ERA from 9 from the previous outing to 6.75. Jake Fraley. What?
That was just a long, dramatic
Yeah,
pause.
I lost my spot. That's my bad.
Happens.
It
happens.
I screwed it up.
It happens.
What else is new?
That's 452. Muse should be hitting right about now, right? Oh, look at Paulie. Paulie nodded. He recognized real recognize real, right, Paulie? Isn't that the saying?
Oh, yeah.
Real recognize real. Speaking of which, I got a text into the show. I want to give a big shout out to this fellow. His name is Tremaine Hudson. Tremaine said, Matt, this is Tremaine. They keep ragging on your gear. He said, you fresh, bruh. Don't worry about the haters. Show us what shoes you're wearing. You know what, Tremaine? I'm happy to do that.
Who ragged on your gear?
That's all anybody ever does now. Check them. You like my G-Nikes today?
Nobody
Look
did
at
that
those.
today.
Paulie, what do you think? Gum soles, plaid back, white front, black swoosh. Kind of like them. What do you think, Paulie?
I like the plaid back.
You like that? Well, it's a green, red, and navy. No, I'm sorry. It's green, red, and black. You like them?
I do.
And you get Tremaine to give me a vote, and the gum soles as well.
St. Patty's Day theme actually.
I
Looking
thought
good,
about
man.
that,
Yeah.
but I
Kinda
have
Irish there,
I
like
do
a
have
That's
green. I do have green G Nikes though, so I'll wear those on
There we
they're
go.
all green, so I'll wear those on St. Patty's Day.
Anyway, Jake Fraley, 1 for 3
my
yesterday
shoes are
with,
way
with
more
a
interesting
double.
than Jake Fraley's minor league
with-
day.
It's spring training, and he plays for the Reds. What are you talking about, minor league?
Okay, fine, spring training.
And he's actually like on the 25-man roster.
It's still
normally.
fake baseball. That doesn't
Okay,
count.
that's okay. Well, he went 1 for 3 with a double.
Great. You know what counts?
He's hitting
My
333.
shoes.
It's
My shoes
fantastic. DJ LeMahieu.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Muse. That's why I do like baseball season for Tigers and the pros. We tend to have more theme songs, more bumps here.
Sure. We still have to pick a random player on the Brooklyn Cyclones to adopt.
Yes. Oh, okay. Let's get that.
We just need to do that. Anyway, DJ LeMahieu yesterday, 2 for 4 at the top of the Yankee lineup. Hit a home run, his first of the spring. That's his run scored and his RBI. A blistering 333 for Deej up there at the top of the lineup. Deej. He's set for another great season, man.
DG.
He's had a great career. DG, no.
Got to end in a Y?
It doesn't have to. It just
DG.
does more often than not. And by the way, golf. Golf gets underway. The Valspar.
Like Jared Goff?
No, this is golf.
Oh, you mean golf?
Yeah, golf.
Golf.
With an L.
Golf.
With an L.
Not
Yep.
golf.
Yep. The Valspar Championship. Sam Burns, your two-time defending champion, looking for the three-peat. He goes off 7:18 a.m. Central, paired with Jordan Spieth and Gary Woodland. That is Tigers in the Pro.
I'm not seeing anybody on the Cyclones roster that I like. I was really hoping that there would be a frat-tastic name that we could embrace. There's nothing really like it. I'm not super fond, but we'll do our best. Tigers in the Pros, presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. 2 locations in Baton Rouge. Gentlemen, if you're thinking of popping the question, maybe Easter is the time you're going to pop the question, go see our friends at Lee Michaels. They have helped Baton Rouge get engaged for more than 30 years. Gorgeous diamonds, you always get the Lee Michaels experience. lmfj.com. Okay, right after SportsCenter, the moment you've all been waiting for. Momma Scone returns.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Traction. I'll be over at Traction tomorrow morning. Looking forward to getting in the gym with Tev, do a little workout. And, by the way, I'm sure when I'll be there, I'll see former Tiger Ethan Posick, now with the Cleveland Browns. Probably see a lot of the baseball guys as well, waiting for their assignments that are still working out. And I'll probably also see some of the young athletes that are there, working on tennis or baseball or softball or track and field, whatever sport it may be. See, at Traction, they say where champions are made. And they mean in all sports and all skill levels. If you want to give your son or daughter the greatest advantages to be their best athletically, Traction makes that happen. I see it every single day when I'm there. It's Traction Sports Performance on Burbank in Baton Rouge. Quite frankly, there is just nothing like it in this region of the country, and it is in rarefied air among the top training facilities in all of the U.S. It's Traction Sports Performance. It's an amazing resource for your son or daughter. Learn more right now at TractionSports.com.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana Loyal. Always.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
I had to leave my parents. I had to move schools. I don't know anyone here. Everything keeps changing. Why is this happening to me? I'm sure glad you're here.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Moon Griffon is back. The voice of Louisiana politics makes his return to Baton Rouge. Catch the Moon Griffon Show weekdays from 9 to 11 a.m. on Talk 107.3.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Finally, an answer from Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers on what he plans to do in 2023. He told the Pat McAfee Show today he intends to play for the Jets, and he made that decision on Friday. Also said he's not holding up a trade. It's now up to the teams to decide on compensation. Green Bay, though, has the leverage over the QB-desperate Jets here, believes ESPN's Dan Graziano.
They have the ability to make the Jets and Aaron Rodgers wait. You can wait till the draft. Maybe the Jets decide to get impatient and give you what you want. Honestly, it is significantly more beneficial to the Packers to wait until June 2nd to trade him. Sure. Because of the $25 million difference in dead money.
The Cowboys and running back Ezekiel Elliott have parted ways, making him a free agent. The NBA suspended Grizzlies star Ja Morant 8 games without pay for conduct detrimental to the league. The suspension covers the games he's already missed. He's eligible to rejoin the Grizzlies Monday. His return to games will take place soon thereafter. Morant met today with Commissioner Adam Silver over his handling of a firearm at a nightclub earlier this month.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. At Progressive, they're making things even easier to help you bundle your home and car insurance together so you can save on both. Learn more at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
Let's ride.
Off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
All in it.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yusu. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. We are glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's hump day. Yep.
It's hump day.
Let's hump, everybody.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
It's the day before the madness begins.
Hump day.
As of right now, everyone's bracket is perfect.
Hump day.
That will soon change.
It's hump day.
There will be upsets.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
There will be game-winning shots.
Hump day.
There will be raucous celebrations.
It's hump day.
There will be weeping flute players.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
There will be tears of joy.
Hump day.
There will be tears of pain.
It's hump day.
There will be bracket winners.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
There will be bracket challenge losers.
Hump day.
There will be wings at Pluckers.
It's hump day.
There will be beer.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
And gosh darn it, there will be Mama Scone. Hit it, Muse. Ah, yes. 'Tis the time yet again. Every year, once a year, I become infinitely more likable because I have a very sweet mother. She is Americana. She's 5'2" with curly hair. Same perm since like 76. She wears glasses. She's lovely. She's my mom. And I bring her on here every year to talk about her bracket. A bracket which undeniably is going to have some head-scratching decisions in it. And undeniably will pick some upsets that none of us could foresee because she doesn't know anything about anything. Well, anything about sports. Let's put it that way. Okay. My mom, Darlene Francis Mumford Moscona. How are you, Mom?
I'm great, man. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. We really appreciate you for coming back here on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yep. Well, it's our pleasure. There's no doubt a lot of people, Mom, who are watching the show for the first time or watching the show with you here for the first time. So I would like to just sort of set the deck here. Well, that sounds lovely. Who's crying?
That's one of the twins.
Okay. My sister is in town from Kansas, and she has 4 children, all under the age of 7, and including 2 twins, which just made a year around Thanksgiving. So Mom's house right now is a madhouse right now. So,
and I'm in the bedroom with the door closed. You can still hear.
Wow. Well, I appreciate the effort to make this the sound quality as best as it can to go in the bedroom and close the door.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's set the deck here, Mom.
Okay.
Who is the? I'm going to ask you a basketball question just to prove how little you know. Who is the coach at Duke?
Is that Krzyzewski? No.
You know, Mom.
What?
You were so close too, because Mike Krzyzewski was the coach there for a very long time.
Okay.
But he just retired after last season.
Oh.
Yeah, made it to the Final Four. His former player John Shire is now the head coach at Duke. They won the ACC tournament.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
good.
Yeah. So they're
good for them.
Yeah, they're really good. Do you know who the coach is of Notre Dame?
No.
Yeah, they don't have one right now because Mike Bray, who was the coach there forever, has he's left Notre Dame. They kind of fired him because he got old and he stunk, and they're like, hey, you need to get out of here.
Who was it?
Mike Bray. Do you remember Mike Bray? He was the coach there when Brian was up there.
No, don't remember.
Okay, sounds great. Winningest coach in the history of the program, NBD. Do you know? Let's see. I'm looking at your bracket here.
I don't think I could even tell you the coach of LSU. So.
Do you really not know who LSU's coach is?
No.
Do you know who the last coach was?
I can't think of his name. No, it was kind of a young guy, but I can't think of his name.
Yeah, his name was Will Wade.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And do you know Will Wade just got hired at McNeese?
I did see that pop up on my phone, actually.
Oh, great. That's fantastic. Good. Yeah. Do you know why he's not the coach at LSU anymore?
He got fired, didn't he?
Yeah, but you know why he got fired?
I forgot. No.
Yeah, he was on a federal wiretap talking about paying players.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
big no-no. So I see that in your bracket here, it looks like you're really fond of this Gonzaga team this year.
I love to say Gonzaga.
You love to say Gonzaga. She loves to say Gonzaga. Do you hear that? She loves to say Gonzaga. Do you know where Gonzaga is located?
No. Where are they located?
Do you want to guess a region?
No.
I would love it if you would. Just give it a shot. The old college try.
In the east?
No, actually. They're in Spokane, Washington, the complete opposite end of the country. How about, let me ask you an easy one, Mom.
Okay.
Do you know Gonzaga's mascot?
No.
Awesome. She's got them winning the national championship, folks. Doesn't even know the mascot. They're the Bulldogs, by the way, the Gonzaga Bulldogs. I'd love to look here at the...
You might ask me that every year, and I don't ever remember it. So
yeah, it happens. Now, look, I'm looking here at your bracket, and in the... let's see. You've got... so Purdue is the number 1 seed in their region. And you have Duke losing in the opening round to Florida Atlantic. I'm curious why you picked FAU over Duke.
Just to do something different, because I usually always pick Duke.
No, I'm sorry. You don't. You actually have nope. You don't have them playing. That's my bad. I misread your bracket. You've got Florida Atlantic beating Memphis in an 8-9 game, but then Florida Atlantic beating the 1 seed Purdue. Why do you have Purdue bowing out so early?
I don't know. Just for some upset. Upsets happen.
Yes. Did you think at all about any of these upsets and why you might have them as you have them?
Well, I have to tell you, though, I had some help with this, and I'll tell you who it was that helped me. Laurel and Aiden, the 7 and 5-year-olds.
Okay.
I did round 1, and then after round 1, I let them pick.
Okay. Well, I see that you've got a 15 seed, Colgate, making it all the way to the Elite 8. Yeah.
You never know. Remember what happened with Loyola of Chicago.
Yes, that happened one time, Mom. You've been doing this for a lot of years, and the one time you picked why don't you tell people why you picked Loyola of Chicago?
Because it's a Catholic school?
And because Dad went to Loyola. And I had to explain to you
that... No, I didn't. I did not think it was Loyola in New Orleans.
I didn't say you thought it was them, but because Dad went to Loyola is why you picked them. Or do you just pick all the Catholic schools? You know Gonzaga's a Catholic school, by the way.
I did not know that.
Well, now you do. There you go. How about that? See, Mom works in Most Blessed Sacrament Church office. So do you feel like, if you didn't pick Catholic schools that Father Todd would be upset?
No.
Okay. Fair enough. I see you have St. Mary's winning a couple of games as well. Do you know St. Mary's mascot?
No.
They're the Marys.
They're the Marys.
St. Mary's Marys, yeah.
That's kind of strange, but okay.
Yeah, that's not actually their mascot. They're the Gales. Yeah, they're not the Marys. Yeah. Anyway,
you're messing with me, in other words.
I want to look at your Final Four. You've got the 3 seed Gonzaga. You've got a 5 seed in Miami of Florida, which, by the way, they're a pretty popular pick to lose in the first round.
Really?
But you've got them in the Final Four here. You've got Missouri from the SEC going all the way to the Final Four. And actually, in the championship game, you've got Missouri beating Michigan State, a couple of 7 seeds in the Final Four. Any thought there with Missouri, or was that just was that Laurel or Aiden just
that was their pick?
Yeah, okay, they were putting their booger fingers all over the bracket, saying pick that one, Momma.
I didn't do that, but yes, I just gave them the names and they picked the name they wanted.
Did you let them alternate? Like Laurel picked one, Aiden picked one. Is that how it went?
Yes.
Okay, just in fairness, was there any disagreement? Was there any disagreements?
Only when it came to Kansas, because that's where they live in Kansas.
Right, right.
And I think Kansas and Laurel wanted Kansas, but Aiden said Gonzaga because he knew I liked Gonzaga.
Okay. Oh, I see. Yeah, you've got Kansas and Gonzaga there in the Elite 8, and you've got Gonzaga moving on. So who ultimately won?
Gonzaga won.
Well, no, I understand that, but who got their way?
I think Aiden did.
Okay.
Because I put Gonzaga, and Laura wanted Kansas.
Aiden's my godchild. But it was his birthday on Monday.
Monday.
So I guess he gets his way then.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Mom. Well, I'm going to be very honest with you. I think your bracket stinks, and you're probably gonna finish very, very poorly. And the really good thing about this with our bracket challenge, I think there is a prize for isn't there a prize for last place? You can you just go look at 1045ESPN.com. Right there on the homepage. I'm pretty so that the first place winner gets $2,023, cold hard cash. Second place wins a 75-inch TV and a sound bar. Third place gets, I know, right? We got some good prizes in this. Third place gets like a weekend stay at the Beau Rivage, which is also very nice. Everybody gets, all the winners get the swag packs from Coors Light. And then if your bracket's perfect, you win $1 million.
Well, I don't have to worry about that. But anyway.
No, right. Well,
I didn't know
nobody
that I could
does.
win anything anyway because I'm your mom.
Oh, of course you can. It ain't rigged. I mean, we know it is what it is. You're understanding your bracket is what it is.
I just
that's an old wives' tale about how family can't win this or that. Blobbity blobbity bloop.
Okay.
Wait, Muse, do we have a last place
Even
winner?
last place?
I don't see one on here this year. Normally they do, but I don't.
I think
see
we
it
do.
listed.
I think there's last place winners on here for something.
Should
but
list that then.
Yeah, maybe ask Cade. Cade would know, or Jesse. Someone should know that. Hell, I should probably know that.
You should.
But you shouldn't say it because people might want to lose just to.
Well, that's
the
the well, no, that's the point. They do that. People actually actively try to finish last, and they still end up picking winners. Because that's just the nature of the tournament. But yes, I mean I'm in the props meetings every Monday. We talked about the bracket challenge. I just forgot what the last place prize is. I have my notebook here somewhere. Anyway, all right, Mom. So what's our wager going to be? You and me.
I don't know.
We do this every year. We come on air. We haven't picked a wager, and then we hem and haw.
Well, because you didn't give me enough notice. I didn't know. Like you called me today at work and said we got to do a bracket thing, and
I mean, a year isn't enough notice.
I know it's in March.
I mean, Mom, we do this every year on the Wednesday before the tournament begins. We've been doing this for like 10 years.
Tournament starts. I don't follow basketball, so I don't know when it starts.
Why don't you like that?
Anyway, I have a question.
Wait. Why don't you like basketball?
Because of the squeaky shoes. I can't take the squeaky shoes.
She doesn't like the squeaky shoes. Yeah. Okay. Your question, please.
Why? I had to ask this question when I'm doing the bracket, and there's like Louisiana.
Yes.
I was like, Louisiana what? Which team in Louisiana? It didn't say. Morgan had to tell me. I guess
I didn't even put her up to this. I did not put you up to that, did I?
What does it say? It could have been Louisiana State University. It could be Louisiana Tech. It could be Louisiana. I don't remember what it was. What was it? What is it?
The University of Louisiana at Lafayette.
Lafayette. Okay.
ULL.
Yes.
See?
But
ULL.
It didn't say that. Why didn't it put ULL?
Because, Mom, in recent years, the children in Lafayette have decided that they want to brand themselves as just the name of the state because they think that makes them sound bigger. But everyone just points and laughs at them, and they're like, no, you're ULL, because they are what they are. But and I just say, listen, I want all the state schools to do well, but sometimes you just have to accept in life what you are. And when you're just a little school in Lafayette that's plays in little conferences and is never going to be a major school in any sport, just accept what you are and be the best thing that you can be in that little sport, in that little school. I mean, don't try to be LSU because you're never going to be that. And so then it's so much easier to dismiss you when you try to be what you're not. You know, I mean, I don't walk around acting like I got a full head of hair. I am what I am. I'm bald. I am my father's son. What do you want me to do?
Yes, you are.
Just be you. Own what you be the best you can be.
Yep.
You taught me that, Mom. You taught me that. Be the best you can be.
There you go. I have another question.
I don't think you taught me that, actually. Anyway, yes, go ahead.
Iona?
Yes, Iona.
Where is that?
Iona is in New York, and they're coached by Rick Pitino. Remember Rick Pitino, who used to coach at Kentucky and then coached at Louisville, but he got in some trouble because he was having a nefarious relationship in the back of a restaurant with a lady when he was married, and so he got fired there and all kind of stuff. Anyway, that guy.
I recognize the name.
Yeah, really good coach. Good team. Did you pick Iona to win a game?
No.
Oh.
Because I've never heard of it. I was just like, Iona? What is that? that? I never even heard of that school.
I own a house.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see what I did? You see what I did there?
I did. I did.
I own a car. I own a car. All right. Well, I'm way late for a break. So thanks, Mom. It's a pleasure as always. We'll follow your bracket,
buddy.
and we'll make sure we keep everybody up to date, and we'll remind everybody to get on and fill out your bracket. Participate in the 104.5 ESPN Bracket Challenge.
All righty.
Okay. Thanks, Mom. Have a wonderful day.
All right. You too, buddy. Love
All right.
you.
I love you too. That's my mom. She's got Missouri in the Final Four. Actually, in the championship game. Good luck to the Missouri Tigers. That would be something, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, I mean, they had a overachieving year. Why not just punctuate it with a trip to the championship game?
To the national championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
Probably not.
Probably not. No. I don't think they're going to win their first game, as a matter of fact.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Who's their first game?
Let's see.
I don't even remember.
Missouri is playing my apologies. I was looking at the wrong region. Missouri is playing Missouri is playing the 10 seed Utah State, which is a very trendy pick in a 10-7 matchup. And I actually think I'm going to pick Utah State.
That's going to be a tough one for Mizzou.
Yeah. Okay. I think Mom's bracket might bust on the first day of the tournament. All right. It's after further review. Quick break. Jay Johnson getting set to take his Tigers out to College Station. We'll get you the latest on the NFL free agency as well. Stay here.
AFR.
Brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's has crawfish every single day. They boil them 11 a.m., start 11 a.m. every single day at their in-house boiling room. So when you buy boiled crawfish from Rouse's, you're not buying crawfish that were boiled somewhere else or somewhere else or shipped in or frozen and then no. Boiled fresh, in-house, every day at the 60 Rouse's locations. Rouse's. They got live crawfish as well. So if you're having your own crawfish boil, look them up. St. Patrick's Day is coming up. If you want your St. Patty's Day king cakes, they've got those green king cakes as well. Sure to thrill your guests at your St. Patty's Day party or at the Wearing of the Green Parade. Get on by Rouse's or have them shipped anywhere in the country. Just get to Rouse's.com. Rouse's.com. More than 60 locations across the Gulf South. You're never far from a Rouse's location. Find the location nearest you at Rouse's.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off MSRP on select new 2022 Ford F-150 trucks. $10,000 off plus 0% financing. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, And LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Water.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green. This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
I totally forgot. To talk about Dov Kleiman yesterday. So yesterday on CBS Sports Radio and on the Fan, Boomer and Gio got into this conversation about Dov Kleiman. Play this, Muse. Here you go. Oh yeah. Well, whenever you're ready. I'm not going to play the whole thing. It's like a 2-minute cut. But let me know whenever. Okay, here you go.
All right. Can somebody explain to me? So this guy Dov Kleiman yesterday, which is I don't even think this man really exists.
Compiler?
He is a compiler. So he doesn't report anything on his own.
Yes!
And he's got hundreds of thousands of followers. I actually had muted him there for a while because it was like he was just everywhere. So it's covering NFL news and transactions, recommend to turn on notifications, contact via DM, editor and writer at Bro Bible.
I thought he was at Outkick.
Well, now he's at Bro Bible.
Oh, he's at Bro Bible.
All right, so he's at Bro Bible, and if you go to like Dov Kleiman and you put in like images,
yes,
there's no pictures of this guy.
Yes,
it doesn't exist.
He doesn't exist.
But everybody retweets his stuff, but he never does anything on his own. This is what I don't understand.
Finally,
so everything that he puts out.
Thank you. Finally, somebody else. I felt like a lone voice shouting in the wind, and I get it. I'm Baton Rouge guy. I'm just little Matt on in Baton Rouge and New Orleans and Alexandria, and I love all of you and thank you all. And when you listen and watch, and you thank you. We have it for what we do. It's great, right? I mean, we've had a lot of success, but I get it. I get my place. We're market like 82. I get it. It is so refreshing to hear somebody else on a big platform say it. He don't exist, bro.
Okay, but wait, here's my thing, though, because I feel like this is... Do you think we're just noticing it now more because we brought it up, or are people just starting to expose Dov?
No, it's
because Garrett Wilson... Garrett Wilson
he did the
tweeted same thing, man. That's like a couple different things in multiple days.
Garrett Wilson, the receiver for the Jets, essentially, he basically tweeted... Thanksgiving about the Rodgers news because Dov Kleiman aggregated a tweet from Trey Wingo.
Yeah.
And so, but that's what Dov does. Everything it's all just aggregate. And now the interesting thing is that after this happened yesterday and the Dov news or whatever, people started noticing what he is. He tweeted, I got to find it. Forgive me. Gosh, dog it. Now that I'm trying to find
he's got a lot of other people's information there right now.
Yes,
man.
yes.
Bad,
I get it. I'm doing this. I'm just not going to have success finding this. Wait, hang on. Say something real quick, Muse.
Yeah, well, I mean, I because you know how, like, it's kind of like when you get a car or one of your friends or somebody you know gets a new car, you start seeing that model of car everywhere, but you just start kind of noticing it. I wonder if that's what's happening with Dov Kleiman. Like, are we just, because we brought it up, are we now noticing everybody else kind of just call him out? Or has this been going on and we just haven't seen it? That's where I'm kind of at with that. But he's definitely not a Dov Kleiman is not a real person. Somebody runs the account.
So Garrett Wilson tweeted, I ain't going to fake it. I thought Dov Bro tweets was the news break I was waiting for. SMH. I don't know anything. Sorry about that. Dov Kleiman replies to Garrett Wilson, Jets receiver. I aggregate the news from at Trey Wingo as the source. He's credited in the tweet. That's what Dov does. He's acknowledging he's just an aggregator. He's not a real human. He's not a person. There is nobody named Dov Kleiman. It's somebody who has created Dov Kleiman there's no birth record anywhere of Dov Kleiman.
Right.
This is almost like Finkel and Einhorn type deal.
Yes,
although there was
exactly.
a Ray Finkel, and there was a Lois Einhorn, which always makes it a little confusing that he took on the personality of the missing hiker, which always makes me wonder because I'm like, then wouldn't like Lois Einhorn's family be like, hey, great to see you.
But he got himself a ring, didn't he?
But he got himself a ring, didn't he? Anyway, so Dov Kleiman, not real, just a dude that is somebody, a human running the account, but who has no attributions everywhere, has never worked anywhere, there's no pictures of him anywhere. It's just somebody who's aggregating news. Takes all the different news dumps from all the different sources and tweets them as if they're his own and also puts per Schefter, per Wingo, per whatever. But he makes it appear as though he's breaking the news.
Somebody knows who it is, though. Because of his affiliation with Outkick at one point. So, somebody knows who the guy is.
I'm not mad at whoever it is running that account.
Of course.
For a lot of people, look, Paul, pull up, this is my Twitter. For everyone who's watching right now, this is my Twitter. I do not follow Dov Kleiman. This is my Twitter. I do not follow him. Because I find it disingenuous. But I'm not mad at him, okay? I'm not mad at him because for a lot of people, it's a good resource because he is an aggregator. It's basically like, hey, here's one feed with all the news.
Yeah.
So I get it. I just have a problem with him taking and look, like Andrew Whitworth follows him. Oh, man. Dov. Randy Mueller, Willie Rofe.
Hey, Willie Rofe, shout out.
Love me some Willie Rofe.
Yeah, man.
Ryan Clark follows him. RC follows
RC.
him. I got to talk to RC. Marcus Spears, Tyrann Mathieu.
Yeah, we need to get RC on this Dov Kleiman thing. I feel like RC.
I just want to know. That's all. I just want to know who is running that.
That's what I'm saying. Somewhat he does because he'd get a check from Outkick or Bro Bible or whatever.
But you know what? We were nose to ground sniffing out this trail long before this day.
Yeah.
Okay. But now it's like they've shined the light on him, and everyone's like, "Oh, what? Dov Kleiman is an aggregator. He's not a real person." Now everybody's doing it. I'm glad, but I feel like it just we can't go ask him now because now it's like, "Oh, you're just one of a bajillion." Like, no, I've kind of been asking this question for a while, dude.
That's fair. We needed to strike while the iron was hot.
Well, the iron's hot now.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, so that saying doesn't exactly
work.
Yeah. We needed to strike while the iron was cold.
Yeah, but nobody does that.
We needed to stealth. Well, we did. We were going to create. We were going to create our own Dov Kleiman for another sport.
Should we not do that anymore now?
Well,
I mean, this is kind of causing a stink. Like,
exactly.
People are mad at him.
A lot of people have the idea now.
Yeah.
We might do the same thing. So, anyway, this is almost like the Todd Peterson thing. Where, like, we were so far for other reasons in front of the Todd Peterson thing. And then it became this mega story. And it's like, I don't know. In that case, it was kind of valid. But this is validating, but it's a different emotion. It's a different emotion.
Yeah, this is more of a gotcha type thing.
Dov. At least now everybody sees I'm not crazy. Hey, one dude. He ain't a dude. He ain't a person.
Mm-mm.
Find me Dov Kleiman's fingerprints. Find me a birth certificate. Find me a record. Somewhere, some hospital, backseat of a 57 Chevy, somewhere in a field. Ain't no such thing. I love that. I love that Boomer and Gio were like, Dov Kleiman.
Dov Kleiman.
Is it Dov Kleiman? It might be.
It's got to be Dov, right?
Or it could be Dove.
Dove without the E.
I don't know. Dove. We're brought to you by Mold Zero. You want to get rid of all the Dov Kleimans in your house? Spray some Mold Zero. That's what you got to do. Mold Zero USA. Mold-0USA.com. That was a terrible thing. Muse's face is like, what was that? I know Dov Kleiman would have reported it. That's what I would have said. Mold Zero, man. I was talking to Jim Woodworth just yesterday. He has rolled out 2 new Sprinter vans, making them even more efficient, able to service more customers faster. He was telling me they did something like a 40,000 square foot job, like a giant apartment complex. They were able to do in one day. They fogged the whole thing. Imagine if another remediation company had come in and had to take care of a mold problem in an apartment complex. You think you could do it in a day? Mold Zero, you can. It's easy. They come in, they spray their patented non-toxic dry fog. You let the fog dwell, kills the mold, the spores. As soon as it dissipates, you're free and clear to go back in your home, your office building, your apartment complex, whatever it is. If you've got a mold issue, you've got an odor issue, other pathogens as well, you need Mold Zero. It's easy, it's clean, it's safe, it's affordable. It's Mold Zero. Mold-0USA.com. Spell it out, mold-0USA.com. You'll see on the website, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, 225-504, but they service all of South Louisiana. I mean, from the Bayou all the way up to Baton Rouge, New Orleans. So they can help you. If you still having issues from Ida, Mold Zero, mold-0USA.com. All right, it's after further review. Man, I'm late. There's so much we've not even gotten to yet. We do need to get to Pluckers Trivia, which we'll do, and I did want to let you hear from Jay Johnson, who spoke today before his team is heading out to College Station to take on the Aggies to open up SEC play. He did talk about how all the run rules have impacted the bullpen. I want to get to some of that. We'll continue. We'll get back on track here in a second. It's AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. It's Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. You know what to do. Go to getgordon.com. That's getgordon.com. Or call 888-8888. If you've been injured in an accident and it's not your fault, do what injured people in Louisiana have done for 30 years. Get Gordon and get it done. No matter where you are in the state, that phone number works. 888-8888. If you're in the 225, the 504, the 337, the 318, just put your area code and 888-8888, or you can always just go to getgordon.com. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, the Gord father of NIL, not only through the Get Gordon and Gordon Gives wing, the charitable arm, impacting so many charities and positively impacting our communities, doing the same through his NIL programs. Gordon has positively impacted so many student athletes, both male and female, at universities all over the state of Louisiana. It's Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Get Gordon and get it done. Go to getgordon.com. That's getgordon.com. Get Gordon and get it done.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
I had to leave my parents. I had to move schools. I don't know anyone here. Everything keeps changing. Why is is this happening to me? I'm sure glad you're here.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
A big shout-out to Matthew Chauvin. I'm not going to spend much more time on this, but I just got a tweet from Matt. I can't help it. Because we've talked about, I mean, Muse, how long have we talked about the Dov Kleiman thing?
It's been a while.
This has been a long time that I pointed out, like, this isn't a person. Well, Matthew Chauvin tweeted at me a link to a New York Post feature from today. And the headline is, in the Post, who is Dov Kleiman? Solving sports media's biggest mystery. I'm trying to show you this, Paul, but anyway, there's all kind of pop-ups and anyway. A years-long mystery hit a fever pitch during the 2023 free agency frenzy. Who the heck is Dov Kleiman? They retell the whole thing about him sharing Wingo's story, whatever. Well, apparently they reached Dov Kleiman via DM, who people at Bro Bible and Outkick have confirmed. They've spoken with via Zoom. He's apparently in his early 30s, lives in Israel, and is an aggregator.
Lives in Israel?
Lives in Israel. The Post asked if he would share photos via DM, and they did. And here's the, Paul, if you want to show it, here's the photo that they posted of Dov Kleiman, showing a photo of himself via DM on Twitter. So if we are maybe to believe that this is Dov Kleiman in his early 30s who lives in Israel and he's a sports aggregator.
I don't know. I'm a little skeptical.
That's fine. Anyway, but he goes on to defend himself. He's like, I reported it accurately. I just reported Wingo's news. Everyone should be pissed at Trey Wingo. I'm like, I don't care who, man.
I mean, actually, we shouldn't be because Aaron Rodgers is going to the Jets.
Yeah, right. We'll see.
Wingo was right.
Well, remains to be seen. We'll see. They can work it all out. I mean, Wingo said done deal. Which is why it's gotten a lot of attention. Wingo said done deal.
They're still working on compensation.
It's not a done deal. I mean, you're talking about paying a guy $50, $60 million. You're going to make a lot of work to make this happen. So, anyway. All right. It's after further review. We're going to get to Pluckers. Oh, we're so late. We're going to get to Pluckers trivia. Muse, here is, what's the best one? You cut up Jay Johnson today. We got 3 to choose from. Is it number 7?
That's the one I liked the most, yes.
Here's Jay Johnson talking about how the LSU team matches up with the rest of the SEC this year.
I just think now you're looking at, hey, I feel like we match up. I feel like you're not going into it going like, man, some things really have to go right, or we need Dylan to hit a homer, or Jacob Berry to hit a homer, or the pitcher to be off a little bit for us to be where we want to be, so the bullpen can now go. I feel like I feel good about that starting pitching thing. I feel really good about it, and feel great about the bullpen. And excited to see them keep developing and kind of take this next step in the schedule.
We will talk more about LSU and Texas A&M tomorrow and, of course, on Friday as well. Tomorrow, however, we are at Pluckers. Off the Bench will be there from 7 to 10 at Pluckers, our title sponsor every Wednesday. Tomorrow, Pluckers on Bluebonnet for the start of March Madness. Off the Bench from 7 to 10, Hunt Palmer 1 to 3, AFR 3 to 6. We'll be there hanging out all day, watching games. Come hang out with us. eat some wings, drink some beer. I want to remind you again, just so there's no confusion, morning show, Hester and T-Bob. Pluckers isn't open yet. There's no games on yet, but Pluckers is going to open for our audience. Now, the kitchen's not going to be open, but we've arranged to have food. So from The Heavenly Donut, we'll have donuts, we'll have kolaches, we'll have coffee, all complimentary. So come hang out, get some breakfast, meet Hester and T-Bob in the morning. Watch them do the show. Go stay as long as you want. We'll have swag to give away and all that stuff. And then, of course, Pluckers will be open starting at 11, so you can eat wings and drink beer and all that stuff starting at 11, watch a full day of basketball, and we'll be there. Hunt will be on from 1 to 3 and AFR from 3 to 6. But tonight is trivia. All right, Muse, let's do it. It's trivia night over at Pluckers. We always give you a little appetizer for trivia night with our guy Muse. Muse, I think you're going to nail it.
I'm not. But
you are. I think you're going 3-0.
No, I'm not.
I'm serious.
Okay, well, we'll see. That never happens.
On a bro Bible, my hand on a bro Bible, I do believe. Hand on a bro Bible.
Bro Bible sliced bread.
Love it. That I do think you're going 3-0.
We haven't had that in so long.
Bro Bible sliced bread?
Bro Bible sliced bread.
All right, Muse.
He was so mad. Yeah, what's up?
Mark Twain once described what sport as a good walk spoiled?
Baseball? What? I don't know.
What sport do you do the most walking?
Oh, golf.
Golf. I'll give it to you.
I don't know. Well, you were looking at me like, come on.
Very famous quote, and you love golf.
I do love golf, but...
very famous, Paulie, you knew that one, right?
Yes, I did.
Oh, sorry. I don't know.
All right. I think you got this one, too.
You thought I had the last one.
Well, you got there.
Okay.
I had to give you a little help.
Yeah.
I had to hold your hand. I had to put the training wheels on,
And look,
but we got
that's what
there.
happens in trivia. You have a team. That's why you have a team, right? You talk it out.
You have to have friends to be on your team, Muse.
I have a lot of friends.
Where you fall woefully short. Muse, what volcanic peak can you see from Naples, Italy?
Why do you think I'm going to get that right?
Mount what?
Mount Vesuvius.
Yeah!
Oh, hey!
Yeah! All right, Muse, we're 2-0.
Well, I had to think about European volcanoes that I knew.
I still got the training wheels on. I had to give you Mount.
I knew it was going to be Mount something. Every one of them's Mount something.
I don't know that you did. All right, Muse. You got this. I know this one you've got. Like, this one you're going to have without even thinking. I know you're going to have this without even thinking. In 1999, this 29-year-old future Best Actor winner was arrested following a noise complaint when Texas police officers found him playing bongo drums in the nude at 3 a.m.
Gotta be Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah! Yes! I knew he was going 3-0.
That one was easy. All right, that one was good. That one was good.
Did you know it or did you guess?
I know. I derived it from the clues.
Okay,
Texas police, 1999.
I remember the story when it happened. When McConaughey got arrested.
That would have.
He was playing bongos naked. It was a big. That was like a nighttime TV punchline for a long time.
I bet.
I knew it, Muse. I knew you could do it. I had to give you clues along the way for all three of them, but you got it.
Really.
No, on all three.
No, only really.
I had to
you didn't give me anything on the last one. You just read the question.
But I really emphasized.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you just said it.
No, I emphasized the context
clearly.
clues. I gave you context clues. But 3-0, we're taking it. All right, Pluckers trivia tonight. Get on out to Pluckers, play some trivia, and join us tomorrow at Pluckers as we broadcast all day for the start of March Madness. All right, Otter Locks. Otter's at the Beau Rivage. He's at the Beau. At the Beau. That's next, AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by New Orleans Flooring. You can get to NOLAflooring.com. NOLAflooring.com. Man, buy where the pros buy. I say that all the time. But when we talk about New Orleans Flooring, remember, it doesn't matter if you are a installer, a home builder, a remodeler, if you're an investor, if you flip homes, if you're a property manager, if you own a remediation company, or if you're a homeowner who's just ready to change the hardwood flooring tile in your carpet in your home. New Orleans Flooring cuts out the middleman. They keep the inventory in stock, so they cut out the middleman, and they can save you as much as 40%. So when I say buy where the pros buy because it's all about getting to that bottom line. And when they can save you money, that's where they buy. It's where you should as well. You can buy today, and their professional installers can install your flooring tomorrow. It's New Orleans Flooring. Metairie and on Airline Highway in Prairieville and at nolaflooring.com.
At Corville Toyota in Opelousas, you can get 3.99% financing on select 2023 models. And as always, you will never pay over MSRP. We also have a large selection of pre-owned inventory. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corville Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
I had to leave my parents. I had to move schools. I don't know anyone here. Everything keeps changing. Why is this happening to me? I'm sure glad you're here.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment on a Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Pluckers. One thing left to do, find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks. Presented by Lofton Staffing Services. At Lofton, we put people to work. Call us today at 924-0200 or go to lofton.jobs.
So we turn to the one and only, the incomparable and often incomprehensible, the Ott father himself, Jimmy Ott. Otter, how are you?
Doing fantastic, man. Set up over here at the Bourbon, watching little Farley Dickinson get out to a little lead here early.
All right.
Remember they played Mary Mack last week?
Well,
Mary Mack.
Well, we did have. So we had a split day yesterday, Otter.
Yeah, old Splitsville.
And I have to tell you, I kind of fat-fingered my bet on the second game.
Oh.
And I hit an extra zero.
Oh, that's good. The Pitt game? There you go.
No, the Toledo game.
Oh, no, the second game was Pitt. They were the late one.
Well, as you gave them to us.
Oh, okay.
So I played Pitt, which hit, by the way.
Yeah.
And then I played Toledo plus the 6, and I fat-fingered it, hit an extra 0, and I realized it after you were gone. I was like, oh, no. Well, let's hope we hit there.
Oh, there's a rhyme somewhere in there. Pitt, hit. Uh-oh.
Well, let's win it back tonight. And if you have any other...
I advise you to use your fat fingers in the winners, please. I mean, this guy.
No. I'm not saying it's totally my fault. I'm saying let's get it back, man. Let's see what we got tonight.
Okay. Tonight we're going with the favorite tonight, Arizona State, in -2, 2.5, whatever you see. So I got the 8 early games tomorrow. I got 3 picks for you.
Wait, I'm looking for the Arizona State game tonight. I don't see Arizona State.
They play.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm looking.
Nevada.
I'm looking at 2.5. There it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. Early game 12:40 tomorrow. Furman +6 against Virginia.
Okay.
Okay. Hanny's got the other side on this one. We got Utah State. What line are you looking at Utah State tomorrow?
You know what? I have Utah State as an outright winner, and I think that's a pretty true. Oh, look, they're
favored.
Yeah, they are. Oh, you are. You're right. They're 1.5. I'm looking at 1.5.
Yeah. So I'm taking Utah State and taking San Diego State -5 against College of Charleston.
All right, SDSU. Now, Charleston's another one, Otter, that's been sort of a trendy upset pick. Why do you like?
Why do I like San Diego State?
Yeah,
I think
I'm just
it's
curious.
a matchup situation here. They hadn't gotten leaned on like San Diego State will lean on. I just don't see that team athletically matching up with the Aztecs. Aztecs been here before. It's a short line. Like I said, man, these are some soft lines.
Yeah.
So you got to pick the right. The days where, hey, give me all 32 dogs for whatever, that's over.
Yeah.
You got to be a little bit more selective. But San Diego State, Furman, and Utah State tomorrow. Those are the early games tomorrow.
All right. And, of course, odds at the Beau Rivage in Biloxi, and Game Time follows us here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge or online at 1045ESPN.com. Have a great show, Otter. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Matt.
All right, enjoy the madness. Muse, Paulie, we appreciate it. If you missed anything, remember AFR On Demand presented by Brett Golf. We'll see you tomorrow at 3 from Pluckers on Bluebonnet.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Relief Windows, reliefwindows.com. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank and vinyl siding. You know where to find them. Online at reliefwindows.com or by visiting their state-of-the-art showroom on Airline Highway in Prairieville. If you're going south on Airline into Prairieville, cross Highway 42, about a quarter mile on the right. You can't miss it. It's gorgeous. No appointment needed. They always have associates ready to help you when you walk in Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 at Relief Windows. You want windows? You can see them there. You want beautiful entry doors? They've got them. You can actually touch them, feel them, open them. You want siding? They have walls of siding so you can see it. You could feel it, how it looks, feels. You can pick out your color, comes finished in whatever color you want. Their expert installers measure twice and install once. That's at Relief Windows. Lifetime warranty on labor, material, and glass breakage. They're just going to treat you awesome. It's Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. Relief Windows, reliefwindows.com.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings